little by little, things are getting a little more back to normal. In fact, I plan on returning the MJ Morning Show to relative normalcy today. You know, kids are going back to school in most, but not all. Let's see. Hillsborough is still out. Hey, Roxanne, your little kidlets, are they in public or private?
None of your business. They're in both.
All right, so one is public, one's private?
Yeah.
All right, so is the private following because you're Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County public schools are not back until tomorrow. You've got Pinellas, Polk, and Pasco back today. Hey, Andrew, what's the situation with Manatee and Sarasota public schools? I didn't...
Yeah, your kids go there, right?
Yeah, Andrew knows.
What, your kids go to Manatee County schools? No, but your kids' private, I don't know which one, the old one or the younger one.
Yeah.
Does the private follow the public?
No.
All right, so
usually it does, but it has not as of late.
So the kid that you have that goes to private, they're back?
Yes, they're back.
When did they go back?
Monday.
Oh, so they already went back on Monday.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's been nice, but yeah, no, it's getting a little tense around the house. My kids are getting stupider. They haven't been in school for 10 days.
Your kids, man, it's crazy. I mean, talk about screwing up the school calendar and then all of the makeup days and everything.
Oh yeah.
I understand the Christmas vacation is canceled. That Christmas Day, kids are going to be in school.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Work right through it.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. And then, Fester, both of your kids are in public, so they don't go back till tomorrow for Hillsborough County.
I think Hadley goes back today. She's in some, I don't know.
No, Hillsborough County's closed today.
I'm dropping her off.
Is she in like an activity place?
No. Is she going to the camp? Because there were like a bunch of like 21 camps.
Oh yeah.
Is there a camp I can send her to?
Oh, for sure there is.
Hold on.
Yes.
First of all, you're on the air until 10 a.m. and you're dropping your kid off at school.
Well, my old lady is.
Hold on. If Hadley goes to Hillsborough County Public Schools, they don't open till tomorrow, Thursday.
She goes to one of these weird schools where kids don't read well. No, she goes to one of these weird schools where it's like a charter school. Yeah, so but it follows the county, but it doesn't follow the county.
That makes no sense to me.
I don't know. They're going. Hadley's going to school today. Hudson's going to be smoking cigars with me this afternoon.
Oh, boy.
That's great.
Oh,
Hotboxing your kid and your caddy.
Yeah, I do.
Exposing your 7-year-old to all kinds of secondhand smoke. Is that it?
Yeah. Just toughen them up.
A little carcinogen.
I got to call your wife later on. What time? What's the window of opportunity to call Allison?
I mean, they leave the house about 7. I mean, an hour from now. I mean, a little sooner, you'll hear him yelling around the house.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to how your daughter's going back to school if Hillsborough County's closed.
Because it's not a county. Charter schools run under a different.
But it's still Hillsborough County Public Schools, right?
Yeah, they're going.
I
don't know either.
Listen, I don't think you know.
And you know what? I don't care.
What is your wife just going to drop your kid off at an empty parking lot?
I think there'll be people there with cones and
crossing guards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hadley's going back today. We broke the news to her yesterday, and
was she like, "Oh man"?
Well, you know what? The school part, yes, but the getting to see her friends again that she hasn't seen for about a week. I think she was excited for that part.
A little later on, I will call Allison just to find out if you have any idea what the hell you're talking about. And then, as far as hurricane continued coverage here on the MJ Morning Show, I thought that I would only ask maybe once later on, is anyone still having trouble finding gas? Up until now, it had been, where can you find gas? Where can you find gas? And things really got better yesterday. Monday, Sunday it began. Saturday was a bitch. Finding gas on Saturday, that was a pain in the... And then Sunday, it was starting to get a little better. And then Monday, it got even better. And then yesterday, it seemed to be like, totally wide open. We were getting tons of calls, like business as usual, no lines. Still a lot of gas stations closed. I would imagine that yesterday, though, as the day went on, that things changed dramatically. So later on, I just want to ask the question, Are you like the only one still having trouble finding gas?
Yeah, let's see who that person is.
I think I'll open up phone lines a little later on and ask that particular question. All right, in the opening segment of the program, is there anything that has captured your attention, Roxanne?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there anything that you think is essential for today's show?
Oh, I didn't know if I was supposed to look around the room and something was going to jump out at me.
Oh, yeah,
No.
I hung a Matisse on the west wall.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen, I have been itching. I mean, itching to talk about Puff Daddy. We've got to get back into that. It's been quite a few.
Itching like you got a bad case of pinworm from one of your kids at school?
Something like that.
You got to take that.
Something like
you
that.
got to take that pinworm medication.
Yes, I do.
You're itching.
I'm itching to. There have been so many developments every day.
Do you have a P. Diddy pile?
I have my own P. Diddy pile. I do.
Can you show that? Show me your pile.
Here it is.
Where's
Here's my P. Diddy pile. It's a thick. Look at this. Look at this.
Big burning
This whole
pile.
thing is P. Diddy right here.
No, it's not. Is it really? No, it's not. What is that? What you're handing up you're holding up some manila envelope with
tons of papers.
What's in that envelope?
It's my kids' stuff.
Who
It's kids'
carries
papers.
around white
So
manila
hold on,
envelopes?
you're holding up kids crap and pretending it's
Yeah.
your Sean Diddy Combs pile?
Yes. But listen,
Well, that's pathetic.
I have read so much about this guy over the last couple of weeks, kind of like back and forth, Hurricane P. Diddy, just going back and forth.
Did you
And-
prioritize P. Diddy's salaciousness over the hurricane?
I mean, sometimes
Sounds
I
like
just
it.
needed to take a break from the
I mean,
hurricane, right?
I think P. Diddy provided Roxanne a very valuable mental rest.
Yeah.
A respite.
Hey,
Yes.
speaking of that, though, there is absolute hurricane trauma.
Mm.
There is absolute anxiety. We essentially lost like 2 weeks. Do you realize that the last 2 weeks
Yeah.
are just a freaking blur?
Totally.
Just blur.
From the 26th, that's when the first was it.
That
the
was
26th?
Helene.
The
Helene was
27th Helene.
Helene was 26. Yeah.
26th. Okay, Thursday.
Whoa. I mean, it's almost like mini COVID blur.
Yeah.
To a certain
yes,
extent.
Good description.
Yeah, Andrew came up with that. He said it in my ear. I
That's
can't
ridiculous.
claim that.
That's the
Hey,
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
what?
I had power during COVID, okay? I mean,
You were stuck in your
I
house.
didn't have to throw out like 3 racks of ribs that I had in my freezer for 2 months during COVID.
Listen, it's just
I didn't have to pick up half a tree in my backyard during COVID.
We're just offering up a similarity of disruption, okay?
COVID was actually a walk in the park compared to the last week of my life.
All right, and then Fester, anything on your mind today that I need to pencil in? So I got Roxanne's P. Diddy pile I'm penciling in. What about you?
I would like to offer nothing to the broadcast today.
Well, just par for the course.
Nothing at all.
All right, 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show, just getting rolling here on a Wednesday, and we're back in minutes. Don't move. MJ Morning Show, 6:21 here on a Wednesday morning. Roxanne, let's go right into the P. Diddy pile. All right, so you have you've been, I guess, studying P. Diddy.
Yes.
And you have a whole pile of all the things on P. Diddy we missed?
Yes, most of it is in my head, but there's a pile in my head that I would love to go through.
Well, where's like the written stuff with highlights and notes? Do you have that?
That's your style, buddy. I just keep it. It's all up here.
Yeah, everybody communicates in a different way.
Would you like to just take a little more time to organize the marbles up there?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to, but I mean, or I can go right now. I can just go on to a P. Diddy ramble.
But listen, I said we're going to return to normal, and normalcy includes the debauchery and the insanity of the P. Diddy crap. Now, seriously, while we were preparing for these two storms over the last couple of weeks, and then, of course, the event itself, the aftermath, I was kind of noting along the way just a whole new compendium of this Diddy crap. I'll give you a little more time to gather your thoughts, all right?
Okay, and then should we do it? Oh, wait, kids aren't in school today regardless.
Yeah, I don't think the kids need to hear the P. Diddy stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we got to find the right time.
I'm shocked at this information.
Yeah.
You don't need to hear about P. Diddy?
Exactly. Hold on, where's my P. Diddy? I'm shocked at this information. Hang on a minute. I think I have that handy here. Hold on a minute. Where's my... Got to be able to find that.
We need a whole P. Diddy page.
Yeah, we probably do. Yeah, I'm looking for my P. Oh, here we go. Here's the P. Diddy, kind of the general usage sound effect.
I'm shocked at this information.
There you go. There you have it. Hey, when I say ... what comes to mind?
Me when I'm doing my text to someone and I'm like trying to buy time while I'm doing a voice to text, so I go.
Not what I'm looking
it's
for.
Roxanne. ... Call me when you can. ...
All right. When I say ... is there a word that comes to mind? ... Come on.
Is it like butt? ...
What's another name for ...
Et cetera, et cetera.
Nope.
Period?
Periods. Period.
Yeah.
Come on.
Are we talking grammatically? Or are we talking... ...
What? Well, there's a name for ...
I mean, are we talking about Morse code?
No. Ellipsis.
Oh, you're close. Ellipses.
Ellipses.
Yeah, I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah, you ever...
All right.
What a nerd. That's the direction you were going?
Hold on. What are you picking up where Froggy left off? Oh, what a nerd.
I think
what a dummy. Jackass.
It just proves that Froggy was right. That's all she's saying.
So, ... ellipses.
Ellipses,
right?
Yes.
I saw something last night, and I'm like, really? That Generation Z is confused why the older generations use ellipses.
Oh, wow.
What really? Hold on. Are you telling me that Generation Z does not use the ... the ellipses in texting?
I guess that makes me very old because I'm constantly putting ... in my text messaging.
When typing a large paragraph, older adults might use what has been dubbed boomer ellipses. Really? I'm not a boomer. I'm younger than a boomer. We're all Gen X in this room.
I think anything that's 25 years older than what they are is a boomer in their mind.
I think maybe anything 10 years older to them might be a boomer.
If you're over 40, you're a boomer.
Multiple dots in a row, also called suspension points to separate ideas. This has Generation Z baffled. Has Generation Z, what is Generation Z? It's 1996 or 97 to like 2012-ish, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Didn't we say we were gonna put up my sister's chart that she made for you that you hated?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that anybody sticks to these years as much as you do, boy, but
no, there are delineations. There are definite, years of which the generations, the boomers, you got the Gen Xers, you've got the millennials, the Generation Z, the young kids today, they're alphas, right?
Yeah, I think so. Alpha. Yeah.
I did not know that 3 dots were called ellipses.
Yeah. Ellipses.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. I didn't know. Never knew that. That never came up in.
How do you not know that 3 dots are called ellipses? That's like fundamental. It's elementary.
I don't think it's necessarily elementary. But
it is elementary.
I don't recall that.
It's elementary, Watson.
I don't recall that coming up in my basic language arts class, and I always called it ...
Dude, seriously, how do you? I mean, you're a fairly bright guy,
and which is why I'm sharing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that what an ellipse. I thought you were talking about like ... I had no idea what you meant when she said eclipse.
No, it's not eclipse.
No, when she said eclipse and you corrected her and gave her credit for it, I was like, what the hell are these people talking about?
No, I don't think she said eclipse. I think she said
ellipsis
or something.
I mean, I had a friend with epilepsy once, and
Ellipsis.
See, some people say it as ellipsis.
Yeah, I say ellipses.
My mom says ellipses, and my mom's an English teacher, so I'm going to go with you guys.
Yeah, I've heard both over the years, but I've migrated to ellipses. I'm just shocked at this information. I'm like P. Diddy over here. I'm just totally.
I'm shocked at this information.
That you never heard of the ... as ellipses.
Oh, are you shocked that I never knew that ... is ellipses? Or are you shocked that people think you're a boomer for using it?
I'm shocked that millennials or Gen Zers want to get rid of it or don't understand it. It's kind of like a nice pause.
That's what it is.
It's kind of like a building of anticipation in times.
It's a pause. Why did it turn that into some kind of old thing?
What's not to like about it?
I think ellipses, little ... I think it's great.
Intriguing at times.
So
even.
if you take out the word ellipses and insert the word butter cookies, you sound like my grandmother. I don't know why you don't like the butter cookies. They're great.
You mean like the Danish ones in the blue tin?
The tin.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the little paper cups.
And you always think they're going to be really great, and they never really are, but they're never terrible.
No. There are some that are good, and everyone always went for the one in the butter cookie tin.
Yeah.
And like both of my grandparents always had these things. And there was that one, and it was like 2 layers. You had the upper deck, and then you had the lower deck.
Separated by a piece of
by a harder piece of paper.
Like a little piece of cardboard with little perforation
then you had
in it.
you had little cupcake cups all around. And there was always one of those butter cookies that always got eaten first.
And then there was always one that remained that no one would touch.
Yeah. That was the one that looked like poop. No, I don't. No, but there was and how many different companies make those butter cookies in the blue tin?
I mean, I'm sure if we look around, there's probably hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Talk about a way to waste some calories.
Yeah, Royal Dansk.
You come up with a better name than that, boys, can't you?
Royal Crotch.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are. There's a good picture of some.
I always went for the ones that were shaped like a pretzel.
See, that was you and I are good butter cookie friends because I don't like those.
I always went for the ones that just kind of had a swirl to it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the ones, I'll tell you what, the ones with the little tiny slice of chocolate in the middle, paste of chocolate in the middle, those are decent.
I don't know if they all had that.
Well, that one does. Look. See it there?
Where?
This one?
I don't see that.
I'm sure there's different
top.
varieties, but a traditional butter cookie tin only has butter cookies. And that's what my grandmother would say when we wouldn't eat them. I don't know why you kids don't eat them. That's how you sound with this ellipses.
Ellipses.
Right.
Hey, so I got to call Chloe later on.
Ask her about it.
About what?
Ellipses.
Yeah, exactly.
And
not about the butter cookies. No, but I want to call Chloe at 6:30 now, 6:29 now. A little too early. She's probably catching another 35, 40 minutes of sleep. So I'm going to be courteous and not wake her up. But I did make a note. I want to call Chloe, who is, smack dab in the middle of Generation Z. And I want to ask her about the 3 dots or the ellipses.
Yeah, I want to get to the bottom of this.
Hey, I'm also looking at, it's funny. I'm looking at the smallest Rubik's Cube in history.
Wow. I'd like to see that.
All right, Roxanne, hold up your thumb.
I have a nice hitchhiker thumb.
All right. Oh, your thumb's all bent.
It's a hitchhiker
What
thumb.
what is
It's
that
double
like?
jointed.
do
I'm
you have-
holding it normal now.
Is that like you have osteo issues?
No,
Let me see.
what the heck is wrong
Let me
with
see
you? I
your
do
thumb.
not know.
Let me
I'm
see your
double
thumb.
jointed. I've
No.
told you that before. Look,
You're double jointed where?
in my thumbs,
What does
my
that mean? What does
fingers.
that? What does that mean? I'm
It's-
double jointed.
Well, it sounds like you're not because you sound very jealous of it.
I'm not jealous of
You're jealous
you.
of double joint. Look at that.
You know what? It looks like you're deformed. Yeah, I'm jealous of looking deformed. Yes, that's what I'm jealous of.
All of your natural deformities
Yes.
that you have, you're jealous of her
I'm
deformities.
all jealous of your. No, but when you
Look at
do
this.
your hands like this, it looks like you're.
Creepy.
It looks like you're like in a horror movie
Yeah,
or
that's the
something.
point.
That's kind of like with double joint. It's
It
like your
is.
joint does another action.
No, so the smallest Rubik's cube ever,
Back to my thumb.
you can buy it for $5,320. And the reason why I was, so the reason why I had you hold up your thumb, the Rubik's, look at your thumbnail.
Okay.
Hold, hold your thumbnail up to the camera. Can you? There you go. Hold it up to the camera. Andrew, take Roxanne's camera, would you please?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So hold your thumbnail up to the camera. Imagine a Rubik's cube that is about 25%, a quarter of that thumbnail,
Oh my gosh.
and that's how small the Rubik's cube is.
You're kidding me.
What? Yeah, Fester just brought. Look at this. Fester just brought up a
oh,
picture.
I see it.
Actually, it might be even smaller than a quarter.
What
It
a
might be
little-
more like an eighth.
What a little teeny baby one. You have to move it with tweezers.
You have to use like little Swiss watchmaker tweezers to pick up minuscule, minute, like microscopic screws.
Oh man,
Uh,
I would love to play with this.
Oh my God! How do you play with this thing?
With the tweezers.
The Rubik's cube is the size of like eye crust that you wake up with in the morning. That's dangling off your lid.
Trying to think, what's that big? Is it the size of a pea?
My God, you know what? It might be just slightly smaller than a pea, and it's a functional working Rubik's cube. And some Japanese toy maker came up with it, and you can get it for $5,320. That sounds like a value.
I mean,
That sounds like a good use of your funds, doesn't it?
call me when it's $9.99 and I'll buy one.
Holy crap. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. As we've got a smattering of hurricane recovery stuff during the show this morning, as we should. But I think it's important to start getting back to normalcy and helping people get their lives back on track. Now, I do have a really interesting hurricane pile that we'll get to later on. Actually, I'll probably scatter it and smatter it throughout the course of the program today. And, some serious, some interesting takes on the hurricane. So, actually, two of them, Helene and Milton still. So, hang on, we'll get to that. I do have an early pile of morons in the news next that I find very refreshing. Yeah, because we kind of suspended morons in the news for a while. I mean, has it been like 10 days?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's been a while since we've done morons in the news. And I got a great pile next here on the MJ Morning Show at 6:33. Let me tell you about my friends at Let's do some morons in the news. Yeah, haven't done this in a while. Feels good to kind of get back on track here on the MJ Morning Show, 642. Let me cram it as much as I possibly can. Another one of these dumb stories where we had one of these, like 6 months ago? Remember we had some schmuck that had a bunch of drugs in a bag that said not a bag full of drugs? Do you remember that story?
Yeah, that's a great place to hide them.
And then there's another one. There's another one of these. Holy crap. Where do you buy? Oh, you know what? I think we looked that up last time. I think, where the hell's Fester? Did he go take a nap?
Well, we can't call him because he left his cell phone in here. It's buzzing.
That's great. Yeah, sometimes Fester goes into the morning show office and takes a nap during commercial breaks.
He does that quite often.
And then,
he's either pilfering for candy, pilfering someone's desk, or he is napping. One of the two.
That's a great existence. During commercial breaks, he's either rummaging through people's desks in the sales department to find candy and snacks.
He does bring some to us, so we can't complain too much.
Or I've got some honey roasted planters over here. You know what I hate?
What?
When you have peanuts where they leave the red skin on them.
Oh yeah, why didn't know?
Yeah, it's like
that's why you're.
It's like you got pencil shavings in your mouth or something.
Right. Why didn't I just buy a bag of pistachios if I wanted to take the shell off? Something?
No, it's not the shell.
It's
like
skin.
that. It's like that paper skinish membrane.
But then you have to take the time to peel it off unless you want to eat it.
Were you foraging for food, Fester, or did you fall asleep?
I brought food today.
Oh, you did?
I brought food. I brought in my hurricane survival pack.
Oh, jeez.
I bought a 9-pack of Sam's Club muffins for my hurricane survival, and they're starting to, if I don't eat them in the next day.
Dude, there's a shelf life on those things. Are they hard?
Well, not anymore because I put it in the microwave for a minute and a half. Now it's nice and soft. I brought it back.
That doesn't get rid of the mold, though.
Well, there's no mold.
Okay.
They kept dry. I told the old lady, I go, hey, we got to motor through these muffins this morning. Or today's our last day.
Do you sprinkle or flick a little water on there as well when you put it in the microwave?
I have. Yeah. I didn't today, but I have in the past.
I just asked. All right. So do you remember some months ago we did the story about some moron that got busted with drugs and they kept the drugs in a bag that said not a bag full of drugs? Do you remember that?
Yeah. You could buy that bag off of eBay or something. That's
what I said. Didn't you do a search and find the bag for sale?
Yes.
All right, well, there's another one of these idiots. Oh, my God. Here's another one. I think the last one was here in Florida. I think it might have been an actual local story. This one is Oregon. After pulling over suspects driving a stolen car, police in Oregon found a large drug stash inside a bag with definitely not a bag full of drugs printed on the side of the bag. Yeah, this is last Wednesday. A Portland, Oregon cop ran the plates of a 1994 Ford Taurus. Man, that was a smoking car, man. If you can find a good used 94 Taurus.
I mean, they're still out there, man.
Oh, man, that's the car to have. So he ran the tags, and they came back as stolen. You realize when you're driving around and you're at a traffic light and you got a cop behind you, a lot of times they're running tags just to see if there are, expired plates, suspended licenses, a lack of insurance, whether the plate is on the correct car. So just keep in mind as you're driving, you might be totally law-abiding. You're not actually raising any suspicions, but cops will run your license plate. And that's just, part of what they do and what they actually should be doing. So last week, cop runs the tags on a 94 Ford Taurus. And listen, sometimes, the car might look a little janky, a little suspicious, and you get a little vibe going.
I mean, the car's 30 years old.
All right. So the cop runs the tag on this 94 Taurus. It came back as stolen, according to the probable cause affidavit. The officers subsequently arrested the driver, Reginald Reynolds, 35-year-old, and a passenger, Mia Begenstos, 37. Reynolds, cops say, was carrying a loaded .357 handgun in his pocket, a bag of methamphetamine, $1,360 in cash, and then the female in the car had 3 white pills she said were oxys, as well as a meth pipe. This is a great couple, isn't it? This is a dynamic duo right here. So the vehicle search, which happened at 1:15 in the morning, found that they had more meth, 2 scales, drug paraphernalia, and baggies that were commonly used for bagging up the drugs to sell. And then investigators noted that there was a brown bag in the vehicle that said, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs." So here we go. Another one of these geniuses.
Here's the bag. You can buy it for $18.99 online.
That's great.
It's a good-looking bag. It's funny. I mean,
it's funny if you don't really have drugs in it.
It's funny until you get busted and it's in the police report.
You know what,
You're right.
Roxanne? You need to get one of these, and you need to carry that when you go to like your kids' school events. That's what you need to do.
I can carry my PTA money in there, right?
Socially, it's funny. You know, I mean, that's not a bag of drugs. Oh, that youngster.
Yeah, how about that? Anyway, another one of these bag full of drugs deals. Oh, this is awful. Definitely a moron in the news. This is local. Let's come back to the Tampa Bay area, a little north. Let's go to Brooksville. An escaped patient at Tampa General Brooksville, charged with attempted murder for carjacking a guy and then like running over a 70-year-old
while he's at the hospital.
What the hell? Yeah, this is all according to a report from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, and this kind of got lost in a lot of the hurricane coverage. Yeah, according to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, they were called to TGH Brooksville on October 12th, like midday, and it was about a hit and run and a crash in their parking lot. So deputies show up on scene, and then witnesses, who included staff at the hospital, said that a woman who was brought to the hospital earlier, and this is under the Marchman Act. So that's not, what's the difference between the Marchman Act and the Baker Act?
I've never heard of the Marchman Act.
Yes,
that's one difference.
Yeah, same here. The Marchman Act. What is that one? Here, Fester found it. The Marchman Act is a Florida law that allows for the assessment, stabilization, and treatment of individuals who are experiencing, substance abuse issues. So Baker Act is when you're having mental issues, and the Marchman Act is when you're suspected of having all kinds of frigged up drug issues.
Maybe one case. Okay, the enactment year for the Marchman Act was 93. So the Baker Act was the catch-all until that point, and then they sort of delineated between mental health crisis and substance abuse.
Well, thank you. I got a Florida involuntary act delineation from Roxanne over here.
I had no idea. I don't think I've ever heard of the Marchman Act.
That's what I'm saying. Neither have I. We've always talked about the Baker Act. All right, so this Lisa Nicosia, who's 41, went up to the 70-year-old man who was in his car in the parking lot at this TGH Brooksville and then removed him. The police report says forcibly removed him. So what, grabbed him and like ripped him out of the car?
I mean, how hard could it be to rip a 70-year-old out of a car?
Ripped him out, a 41-year-old woman, allegedly all drugged up, rips the 70-year-old guy out of the driver's seat and tosses him out of the car.
I mean, you get a frail old man. He's not seatbelted in. She
God.
has a head of steam on her.
Then she gets into the driver's seat of the car. The victim runs to the passenger side, opens up the car, but she starts driving away. The victim fell from the vehicle and became trapped under the rear passenger wheel. Oh, my God. And then Nicosia continues in reverse, running over the upper body of the 70-year-old guy. And then the nurses are saying, stop, because they wanted to help the guy. But according to the sheriff's office report up in Brooksville, she just ignored everything and continued to drive away and then ran over the guy a second time. What the F?
That's awful. Grandpa, let her have the car, Gramps.
So the 70-year-old man was airlifted. They life flighted him to Tampa General down here in Tampa. And the last I saw, they said that his condition was, quote, grim. I never heard that really used as, as a description and from a hospital condition, grim.
gets to the point, though.
So I don't have an update on it. I don't see if we have any update on the guy's condition. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Is he in ICU? No, he's in Grim.
He's in GRIM.
Yeah.
My God, he's the real Grim Shady.
Ugh.
Poor old man.
God, I mean, this is awful. So they've got the woman. She was charged with attempted felony murder, carjacking, resisting arrest without violence, fleeing to elude, driving while license suspended or revoked. I mean, what a mess. And she's all locked up with no bond, as she should be.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That is crazy town right there. Man, can you see if there's any update on the 70-year-old? I couldn't find an update on what his condition is. All I have is Grimm, like Grimm's fairy tales. That was Grimm, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Grimm. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. Man, I still have more morons in the news. I got a backed up pile because we, suspended it for a little bit while we're dealing with hurricane stuff. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. I want to call Allison. I want to call Fester's wife in the next segment because I want to know what's going on with the school. Fester claims that his daughter's going back to school today, but Hillsborough County's closed.
The county's closed, but I don't think she goes to a county school.
Hold on. Your kid goes to Hillsborough? Wait. Do you pay for private school?
There are things called charter schools that live in the middle space.
I get it. All right, hang on a minute.
So we don't go to like Carrollwood Day School or Berkeley Prep or Tampa Catholic or Shorecrest or
Canterbury.
Or Canterbury Northside Christian. We don't go to those. No.
All right, hang on.
It's not a public school either.
Hold on. When we get back, I want to talk to your wife, or because she should be in the car in a few minutes if that's the case, right?
Glad somebody wants to talk to her.
All right, 6:53, the MJ Morning Show back in seconds. is MJ Nation. All right, 7:01 at the MJ Morning Show. I'm going to wait a couple of moments, Fester, before I call your wife and try to sort out your school issues. All right, so Hillsborough County schools are still closed today. The schools that have opened back today are Pinellas, Polk, Pasco. Did we ever check on Sarasota and Manatee? Fester, I asked you to do that about an hour ago.
You asked Andrew, and I don't really do above and beyond what I'm expecting. So.
Andrew, did you check on?
I was never asked to.
You said in the first segment,
geez.
Andrew, can you check on that?
God, everyone's
Hey,
like
I'll look
just
it.
chucking.
Yeah.
Everyone's chucking the hot potato around
I'll
here.
look it up. Manatee
my
County
God.
Schools.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me hang on a minute.
In the wake of challenging times, students are warmly welcomed back to Manatee schools.
Today.
Looks like 16 hours ago.
Hold on a minute. Is it
They might have gone back yesterday.
Yeah.
Those kids are tough in Manatee County.
Anyway, just trying to keep track of everything around here. I want to send Susie Lopez a text real quick. Do you have a moment to talk about the abandoned dog?
How'd they catch that guy?
Yeah, that's...
I mean, the guy literally pulled over and tied his dog to a pole and took off. I mean, how they even track him? Did the dog have a chip that went back to the guy's house?
Yeah, anyway, so I have some details. We'll get into it a little later on. But you have that abandoned dog. You know, almost looked like was it like a pit bull and a combo, like a Spuds McKenzie looking dog?
Yeah, it was.
So I instantly thought Spuds McKenzie because it has that narrow snout on him.
Yeah.
A
Almost like
sturdy
like a little mini doggy horse head or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of dog that is, but it's a good-looking pup.
Yeah, and the dog was abandoned. Some sicko felonious turd face chained the dog to a fence off the side of the road in rising water, and a state trooper, a FHP trooper, found the dog. Yeah. Hold on.
I'm trying to
play the audio. We'll get into it later on. Yeah, Fester's
the body cam footage of the dog just standing there. Somebody called it into FHP.
It's amazing. And the trooper approaches and is like, it's okay. You can hear the trooper on the audio. We'll get into it later on. I just texted Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez to see, because they're going to prosecute, and they absolutely should. Like felony dog abuse, animal abuse. What a terrible story. Oh, one other follow-up here. And if you were listening last hour, I was talking about this little tiny Rubik's Cube.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that there's going to be a little tiny Rubik's Cube for sale, I'm not talking about like the little like keychain version. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
I found out some more information here. A Japanese company, a Japanese toy maker, is going to be selling the world's smallest Rubik Cube. And I would say it's like the size of, or even a bit smaller than your average pinky nail. So look at your pinky. And your Fester, let me see. Everything's big on you. Let me see.
He's oversized.
It's this. I'm oversized in like 98% of my body.
You're bloated.
The only place you're not oversized is your calves, right?
If you take,
but you've got nice strong legs.
No, I mean I'm really modest.
If you take Midol, does it help with the bloat?
You know what? It does.
All right.
Does it help with your cramps too?
I'm having one right now.
You know what? That is a great name for an intern. Cramp.
I thought Midol was where you're going. Okay.
All right. Anyway, so
hey, Midol and Cramp, go get that stuff off the printer.
All right. So this Japanese company, just a little follow up on this. The tiniest Rubik's Cube, which is like the size of a small pinky nail. It is tiny. It's going on sale for $5,320. So here's what I found out. That it's available on their website as of tomorrow, and they will start to be delivered next April. So if you want a Rubik's Cube functioning the size of your pinky nail or smaller, and you've got $5,320 lying around, you can order it. Pre-orders will begin this week.
If I was stupid money rich, I'd get one.
Who the hell is going to spend $5,320 on a Rubik's Cube the size of your pinky nail?
Are you a Rubik's Cube guy? Like if I gave you a Rubik's Cube, would you sit there and fiddle with it for 10 minutes?
I remember 10th grade. It was really big. 10th grade for me was 1982. And I remember that like in school, lunchroom, like at lunchtime, everyone was playing with the damn Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, think about how smarter you guys were back then. Now they're just staring at their phones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Were you able to solve it? I remember I used to be able to, I can't solve it now, but I remember because my kids have one, there was like a formula. There was a method for trying to get.
But then you had those brainiacs that could like do it in like 1 minute.
So there's a documentary. I don't know who's streaming it, but it's about like speed cubers.
Right.
And these are the weirdest people you've ever met in your whole life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, like, why? And they have conventions where they race each other with a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I mean,
Talk about a nerd alert.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I'm trying to. There was a way that you could like take it apart and then put it back. Do you ever do that? You could pull the whole thing apart and then put it back together.
Yes, that's a way to cheat and do it.
It was like a plastic ball in the middle, and you just pulled all the pieces out, and then you just snapped it all back together. So there's a way to cheat and do the Rubik's Cube.
It all starts with the flower on the bottom.
Yeah.
Make the flower, flip it over, line up the colors.
Is that what? Okay, that's where you start. Okay, I knew there was some kind of trick to it.
The white flower.
Like White Lotus?
Well, you start with the yellow and white are on opposite ends.
Oh, okay.
So you have the yellow in the middle, and you have the four middles with the white, and you can flip it over, and there's YouTube videos on all of it.
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, the record for completing it,
it's like 12 seconds.
3.13 seconds.
Get out of here. Come on. That's impossible.
It must have been starting from a good place.
I think I did see his. You know what? I think you might be right. Well, he's probably looking at a story. No, I remember in the last like year or so, there was video of a kid and they had a digital clock. And I think now I recall that. It was like just some impossible time to solve the Rubik's Cube. All right, let me see if Allison, Fester's wife. Hang on, let me check my phone. Am I still downloading? What the? I've been downloading Android 15 for the last hour and a half.
It seems like it's a weird time.
Oh, hang on a minute. Restart now. All right, I'm not going to restart now because I need to get your wife's phone number out of my phone. But yeah, this morning I got alerted that hey, an update is available on my Pixel 8 Pro. I didn't go to the Pixel 9. I'm going to wait for the. I generally, because we're Android. Michelle and I are Android. My kids, Julian and Chloe, think we're the biggest effing nerds because we don't have iPhones.
I could think of 20 other reasons, but
iPhones. So the kids have the iPhones. Michelle and I are happy with the Android operating system. And I got alerted last night that Android 15 is out and available. And I got into the studio about 5:30. I hit the update button at 5:30 and it like just finished. And now it says restart now to install my Android 15.
So what do you have my wife saved under in your phone? What name?
Fat Guy's Wife.
Okay, I'm about to say, because I have Michelle saved under MJ Wife. I don't have Michelle written out.
All right, hold on. I just got word from Susie Lopez. Hang on a minute. Can we do 7:45? All right.
Oh, you're talking to her. I thought you just became really bad at reading.
No. So I'm trying to get Susie Lopez on. She says she's available. I want to talk about this abandoned dog and the amazing ability to track this guy down. Whoever tied and they know who he is. Giovanni something or other.
He has a mugshot.
The guy's been arrested. Giovanni Aldama Garcia is in trouble. All right, so we will. I just got confirmation. We're going to talk to Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez at 7:45 regarding this horrific case of animal abuse, which is just nauseating. It's sickening beyond belief. Let me get a hold of your wife. I'm not going to restart my phone just yet, but after I get your wife's phone number out of here, or you could probably just write it down.
So,
but it'd probably be faster for me to just fumble through my phone.
Do you need me to write it down for you? I will.
No, I got it. Allison.
Right. So
Allison Siciliano.
I've had a bunch of guys over the years.
How many Allisons do I have? I got Allison Domino, I got Allison Siciliano, and I got my cousin Allison Ray.
I didn't know you had a cousin.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had several guy friends over the years. I mean, friends that are close enough to have both my number and my wife's number.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me in conversation, dude, I think about your wife all the time.
What?
And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Because it's the first name they see in their phone book.
Oh.
You open up your phone book, Allison's probably one of the top 5 or 6 names on your list. Unless you know about a lot of errands.
You know what? In my phone, the first listing is Aardvark Exterminators. Do you remember the old? Do you remember the old white pages? Do you remember that?
The extra A.
It's like your wife's not answering.
She will.
There's no freaking school. Hello?
The hell happened?
Like it just hung up on me.
Oh.
It just dropped.
Oh, no.
Hi. But this is like it's the stuff your kids don't know about. It's like, you pick up a landline and you hear a dial tone. First of all, they don't know what a landline is. And then, I guess Chloe works in an office now. And we've had a landline in our house, with her growing up. But so many kids, they hear a dial tone. They hear like, this noise. What's that? And like the old white pages and the yellow pages. Hey, for all the youngsters, they used to deliver these thick books to your house.
It's crazy to think about that.
They used to toss them in your driveway. Like every year, there was a white one and a yellow one.
About a couple of months ago, my son Hudson
Yeah.
made his first call on a corded phone.
On a landline.
And he had
That's
no
awesome.
idea what it was.
Oh, my God.
He's like, what the hell is this?
Oh, that's
He
crazy.
even said hell.
So, no, seriously, there was a time, kids, when they used to drive through your neighborhood and throw a bag with a couple of books onto your driveway. And one was the white pages, and it had the phone numbers of all the people in town. And then there was one that was yellow. And the yellow one had all of these businesses alphabetically listed by category. Like, roofing companies and television repair. And it was called the Yellow Pages. And then businesses used to pay ridiculous amounts to have ads, like quarter page or full page ads in these so-called yellow books.
Yeah.
And everybody went to him.
The
Yeah.
yellow. And then,
But-
of course, something called the internet was invented. And then it blew the white pages and the yellow pages. Like, what was it? Like R.H. Donnelly was a big company that did. Yeah, what are they doing today?
Yeah, poor company.
What the hell are they doing?
You know what, though? I have to tell you,
Yeah.
the most useful reason to have a yellow pages or white pages is to sit on them. I used to sit on the yellow pages when I worked at Bay News 9 at this one news desk, and I had to be with another guy, and he was considerably taller than me, and I have like a short torso, so I would sit on a stack.
You have a stubby torso?
Yeah, I'm all legs. All legs.
Al Rochelle's
And-
not that tall.
And so I would sit there on the yellow pages. I sat on the
Well,
yellow
let me
pages to
tell
give
you,
myself some height.
As far as I'm concerned, the good use for the yellow pages,
Uh-huh.
that's where I got virtually every crotchety old man business that I
Oh, yeah.
cranked. Yeah. And this is, I've talked about this in the past, that whenever I went on vacation or whenever I was out of town, I would steal the yellow pages from the hotel. And,
That's funny.
And I'd be able to call out of town to make my Milton Fludge Cow crotchety old man calls. All right, let me call your wife here quickly. What time is it? 7:15? I'm running a little late.
Yeah, she said it went to voicemail.
Oh, okay.
She just sent me a text to call back.
Calling Allison Fester's wife. I'm curious here because Hillsborough County Public Schools don't open until tomorrow. And Fester's like, oh, yeah, she's taking Hadley.
Hello.
Allison, where are you right now?
I am just getting in the car, taking Hadley to school.
All right, can you explain this? Hillsborough County Public Schools are out until tomorrow, so where the hell are you dropping Hadley off to?
Well, see, she goes to a charter school, so they kind of go underneath although it is Hillsborough County.
She goes to a charter school, like, if you don't get help at charter, please get help somewhere.
Believe me,
We're hoping, yeah.
that kid needs all the help.
Do you remember that slogan?
If you don't get help, it was a recovery center,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Charter was like a drug and alcohol. If you don't get help at charter, please get help somewhere. All right, so wait a minute. Is it so they don't follow the Hillsborough County Public Schools schedule at this charter school?
They do loosely, like for the most part, they do. Days like today, obviously, they don't. And then like Christmas, instead of doing 2 weeks, they do a 3-week break. So I mean, they follow it enough.
Now, wait a minute. Do you pay for this, or is this included in your Hillsborough County property taxes?
I mean, they're always begging.
Property taxes.
Yeah, they're always begging for donations, and I'm like,
But
I'll get you next month.
But wait a
guys.
minute. Is it run by the Hillsborough County Public Schools?
I think it's run independently, and it has curriculum requirements. I really don't know what the hell a charter school is.
I don't know either.
But it's like independent enough and still affiliated with the county enough.
All right, but it's just weird that she has school. Did Hadley turn 13, right?
Hadley had a
Hadley
birthday.
turned 13.
on
She had
s-
to. I turned 13 on Thursday, and I'm bringing cupcakes for my friends.
All right.
Oh.
Great. So
right.
Hadley's having her own mini
Yeah.
party today. So Hadley's birthday was the day after the storm. So on her 13th birthday, we had her picking up sticks in the yard. That was her whole birthday. That was her-
Or hey, give her a chainsaw and have her cut up the giant oak that fell in your Lutz neighborhood.
Yeah, we don't have the best record with chainsaws in our
Oh
family.
yeah, Fester almost cut off his arm. Oh no, his
Yeah.
fingers.
Two fingers.
That's right, Fester, and that was not even a gas-powered, like heavy-duty one. You almost cut off your 2 fingers with an electric chainsaw.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes. So I've been
And they were
forbidden.
reattached.
They weren't off,
Right.
But they were yeah, I guess it was reattached. They were connected. They were dangling by a couple of
Oh
things.
my God, that's right. That was what, 15 years ago?
Well, the thing was, Allison bought it like at 4 p.m, and by 4:45,
Your fingers were missing.
we were at the hospital. I wasted no time cutting my fingers off.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, let's give Hadley a gas-powered steel chainsaw and have her remove the giant oak that fell in your backyard. That's what
I think that sounds like a plan.
it is.
Yeah, so Hadley has school today, and then Hudson's school, he goes to a more traditional K-8 school.
Right.
And he starts tomorrow.
They're back tomorrow in Hillsborough County. Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I'm glad I got to the bottom of it. All right. Ask Hadley if she has any final parting words.
Do you have any final parting words? I have something very important to tell you. Very, very important.
Yes, go ahead.
good girl. Bad girl.
I have something, and then she hangs up on me. Oh, yeah. Hey, I got one more
girl.
thing to say. Click.
Hey, Hadley, have
All
a
right.
great day at school. Don't
All
take
right.
any crap from anybody.
All right, 7:19 at the MJ Morning Show. All right, running a little late here. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. That is minutes away. Hey, if you have a garage door problem... 727 at the MJ Morning Show, and doing our little part to kind of help bring things back to normal. Still, we've got some hurricane stuff we got to deal with here on the MJ Morning Show. I do have a pile we'll get to. Also want to grab some phone calls regarding gas, and I want to switch things up a little later on. I want to hear from people that still can't find gas, because it seems that gas is pretty readily available. Are you the one person that still can't find gas? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to.
Yesterday, I drove down to Tropicana Field because I had to see the stadium.
Oh, well. Also, did you find your piece? Did you drive all around looking for a piece of the roof?
Several people suggested just go down there. Well, it's been 5-6 days.
Yeah, but still, you've got a massive area of the roof that's gone. So
a lot of it fell in the stadium, and a lot of it's hanging from the armature that supported it. There's nothing around the stadium anymore. There are people actually picking up most of the debris. But as I circled the stadium, toward the downtown portion of the parking lot was the governor's 10 gallons of gas.
Oh.
And there were about 50 cars in line, and it was so efficient.
Really?
They had this big tanker trucks. It's not like they don't have a pump, but they had the trucks, two of them lined up to make like an alleyway,
right?
And people with hoses running out and gassing you up and getting out of there.
Your typical tanker truck, they don't have a hose system to fill up a car, but they had like a special hookup.
I guess you could add some kind of adapter.
Hang on, were they the full tankers or were they the smaller like oil trucks?
No, the big ones that you'd see with like Flying J on the side.
Okay.
It wasn't Flying J branded, but
I thought I saw some of the free gas trucks were more of the smaller the oil trucks.
Maybe at different locations they have different ones, but the ones that I saw in downtown St. Pete yesterday, and there were about 50 cars in line, and they were moving along. They were getting in and out.
I think that's positive. All right, 7:29 now at the MJ Morning Show. 7:45, we're going to speak to Susie Lopez. She is the Hillsborough County State Attorney, and we have this awful story about that abandoned dog during Hurricane Milton on the side of the road, and they've made an arrest. of the individual that tied a dog to a fence in like floodwaters. I mean, just an awful, awful story. And arrest has been made, and they're going to prosecute to the fullest extent. So we'll talk to the Hillsborough County State Attorney, Susie Lopez, in about 15 minutes at about 7:45 here on the MJ Morning Show. I quickly, and I want to just, I'm not going to do the whole pile now, but I just want to smatter a couple of things in during the course of the program. Regarding just hurricane aftermath. I'll take some gas calls later on. Again, I want to know if you still can't find gas, because if you can't, well, you probably got an issue.
I mean, it's on you.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, gas is becoming pretty plentiful all over the place. Some of the interesting sideline stories I saw, I saw that involving linemen, and of course, we've got the linemen from all over the country that have come to the Tampa Bay area to help restore power. Fester, you had an Indiana crew.
Yeah.
In my Beach Park, South Tampa neighborhood, we had Entergy. Did you recognize the power company name that restored power in your neighborhood?
It was like Premium Power.
All right. So we had Entergy from Mississippi, and like 3 trucks in the neighborhood, and they had the Entergy logo, Mississippi tags on their trucks. So speaking of linemen, this was a nice story that a lineman who was helping to turn the power back on to Peace River electric customers, saved 2 people from a overturned vehicle during a crash.
Oh, man.
So look at that. They're coming to restore power. They're also rescuing people after a car crash.
Jeez. These linemen are heroes in more ways than one. Shine your high beams for linemen.
All right.
Excuse me?
Roxanne,
This is my thing I came up with. I'm trying to start this movement.
a grassroots
For single
movement.
You
women.
want to
or not.
turn on your high beams for linemen?
Yeah, remember that really cool meme I showed you the other day with a person flashing?
She thinks
When-
women should flash the linemen who are
Yeah.
who are all alone here in town.
I think I mentioned this already, but
You did.
there was a sign
Uh-huh.
off of either Causeway or Bloomingdale out in Brandon. There was a sign that someone stuck on the side of the road, and it said "free for linemen."
Oh, did it really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I'm?
that's-
You know what I'm
that-
referring to?
is probably something.
They were lining up.
Yeah, free for linemen, and someone showed me the picture. So here's a great story: linemen helped car crash victims. So I think it's fantastic. That's super. And then you have a strip club locally that's offering free admission and drinks for linemen.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, now we're starting to just stereotype like these linemen are these depraved, they just want.
Hold on, hold. In what world did I?
Not you.
Yeah,
I mean, collectively.
No,
me.
No, I
me.
don't. Listen,
What?
that's on you.
On a national scale.
Yeah.
Well, I know we live here and maybe we're a little insulated to it, but on a national scale, what's the first thing a lot of people think of when they think of Tampa?
Strip clubs.
Strip
Oh,
club.
Yes. So we want to live
So
up to our.
We are giving these linemen opportunities to sample our fruit. I mean, our local
Right.
product. Our gross domestic product. in
Anyway,
Tampa.
an adult club
That sounds gross.
that I've never been in my life is the Dollhouse. I pass by it all the time.
You could walk home, dude.
I can
Yeah.
seriously. I can walk home from the Dollhouse. The THEE, the Dollhouse. I've never been inside, but I tell you what, during recovery, after Milton,
Mm-hmm.
and I drove by there the days after Milton, and the parking lot was full. I'm like, what the really?
Dude, if the line around McDonald's was wrapped around 3 times, what do you think the line to the strip club
Oh,
was? Of
folks,
course.
if you haven't seen my videos as we get back to normal, if you haven't seen some of the videos that I posted, let me see if my phone is updated. Oh, I'm in. All right, I'm updated. Yeah, my Android 15 has been installed.
Oh, we're all so happy for
Took
you.
like an hour and change to download it, and now my Android 15, which just came out yesterday, has been updated on my Pixel 8 Pro. All right, so if you haven't seen some of the videos that I posted on my Instagram, speaking of McDonald's lines, I have a video of this insane line at McDonald's on Kennedy, in between Lois and West Shore, and the line was wrapped out into the street. It went like a quarter mile down Kennedy toward Dale Mabry in the right lane, and it was people waiting in what had to be like a 3-hour McDonald's drive-through line. And I took video, and I'm running on the sidewalk. I parked on a side street.
Were people yelling at you? Nice Cybertruck.
Yeah, right next to the DeBartolo building. I parked in there, and then I'm running down the sidewalk taking video, and like people are like saying, "Hey, you sound out of breath. Why are you running? What are you, out of shape?" I'm running because I wanted to show the whole line and have a short video. I didn't want to have a 5-minute video.
Yeah.
So I'm jogging to try to get the full scope of the line, and they get into the McDonald's parking lot and then show where they're actually at the speaker box placing their order. So if you haven't seen this video, it's got like let me see how many views this thing has already. Yeah, this thing has 344,000 views.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But my McDonald's video with the crazy line in the aftermath, all the power's out in South Tampa, and McDonald's had power. I don't know if they had a generator or if they were one of the lucky ones on the grid, but they had power early, and people are in line. I've got 344,000 views on this thing. The Howard Franklin Bridge sign, the giant green sign that blew off with pieces in Tampa Bay. It's got
still
that
there, by the way. I drove by yesterday.
Yeah.
I looked for it, and I could see it.
You can still see the sign. It's blown off on the side. I've got a bunch of videos. Massive tree down, me on the Howard Franklin the morning after on last Thursday, and I'm the only one on the Howard Franklin Bridge at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was spooky. I mean, I got a bunch of hurricane videos that if you haven't seen them, go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. And if you like my stuff, give me a follow. Certified MJ Radio. Yes, Fester.
A very important McDonald's-related question for you.
Yes.
What's your initial feeling on the chicken Big Mac?
I saw a commercial for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a Big Mac. I guess it's the Big Mac formula, but they're using chicken instead of...
Because McDonald's sells some higher-end chicken sandwiches, I guess. I don't know. But they use a pretty good chicken patty, I guess, instead of the beef.
Yeah, look, I saw the commercial for it. I haven't tried it, but I did see the commercial. Hey, let me get back to the strip club because we got sidetracked.
Oh, sorry.
So the Dollhouse is offering free admission and drinks for linemen. I mean, do you have to show up with like your hard hat, or do you have to pull into the... Do you have to have valet parking, park your bucket truck?
Hey, watch out. Makes a wide right.
Yeah. Since, I guess, Sunday, the Dollhouse, they're making it known that they have a power-up party nightly, free admission and a free drink to all linemen. Yeah, here's the statement. All linemen and emergency responders and anyone helping their neighbors restore the area receive free admission and first drink free. That was on their social media sites. Yes, we have power, and we're turning up the energy. Join us for an electrifying night of fun music and unforgettable performances. The 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. And then also $20 buckets of beer and $5 shot deals.
That's all right.
The Dollhouse taken care of. Yeah, Fester brought up the
flyer.
The flyer, the power up.
Wow.
Looks like her boobs are all powered up with like about 600 cc's apiece.
Yeah, they are. That's good for her.
That's what I'm looking at. And then let me do one other hurricane item, and then we'll kind of sprinkle them in during the show. Winn-Dixie is distributing free water, supplies, gift cards. They had an event yesterday, and that was on Bee Ridge. So that was yesterday. And then today, Winn-Dixie, St. Petersburg at 2139 34th Street North, starting at 12 noon today, serving the first 250 people that show up. They've got free water, supplies, and gift cards. So Winn-Dixie, thanks for stepping up as well.
Nice.
And then Chuck Norris. Is he still alive?
He's in his 80s now.
I'll tell you what, those Chuck Norris jokes, they kind of faded quickly, didn't they? Remember we had the Chuck Norris jokes for years, and then boom, suddenly, like they never even happened.
You know what? I love. He's a national treasure. I love Chuck Norris.
I like Chuck Norris
How
as well.
old is he? How old do you think he is? I don't know.
I don't know, 82. Look it up.
All right, hold on.
Look it up. How old is Chuck Norris?
Chuck
I would say
Norris,
82, 83.
84.
84
March
years. Wow.
10th, 1940.
Look at that. Chuck Norris is sending a shipment of water to Florida. Thank you, Chuck.
I mean, what's a shipment? Like a 32-pack or like pallets and pallets and pallets?
A 12-pack.
I mean,
He sent the 12. No, 24 pallets.
that's cool.
Holy crap. Chuck Norris sent 24 pallets of water to Seminole County Office of Emergency Management.
And he carried them all there himself.
I wonder, and the water's from his ranch in Texas. I wonder why he sent them to Seminole County.
It's a Central Florida county.
Yeah. So, I know that, it made land. So Milton made landfall at Siesta Key, then cruised right across Polk County. So I guess it did roll through Seminole.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of, when you think of the hardest hit counties with either Milton or Helene, Seminole County isn't like in the top 20.
Yeah, I guess it was delivered to Harvest Time International.
So they'll distribute it.
And they're headquartered in Sanford.
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah, I guess that's what. And I think George Zimmerman is running the operation. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I have a joke, but I'll save it.
Anyway, all right, so I have more hurricane stuff we'll sprinkle in during the course of the show. I'm going to get a hold of Susie Lopez in just a matter of moments. Also, oh, man, the Lieutenant Dan story is getting weirder and weirder. We really didn't mention Lieutenant Dan. He's the dude. I've got some opinions and thoughts. He's the guy that rode out both Helene and Milton on a boat, and all kinds of crap is coming out. He's threatening to sue people now.
Really?
Am I the only one that's never heard of this guy before these storms?
I was going to tell you to get him on the show faster.
Before these storms.
Yeah. I never heard of Lieutenant. Well, that's not his real name.
No, that's because of the Forrest Gump.
Yeah, the Forrest Gump with Gary Sinise. Yeah.
The scene where he's on top of the boat fighting the storm and
right. So Lieutenant Dan, there's a whole update on this guy. I've got an audio bite that you gotta hear. And listen, it's my opinion. This guy's not, a couple of fries short of a happy meal, okay? That's just my opinion.
What's his real name?
I'll get into all this coming up in just a bit. We'll call Susie Lopez in a minute. That dog that was tied and found by the FHP trooper, we'll get into that in just a bit. Let me ask you a question. There are 3 words that have been identified that people get in text messages that are very suspicious and could be an indication that it's a scam. 3 words. I saw this last night. I'm like, oh, that's very, very interesting. So there are tons of fraudulent text messages that are going around. And there are, again, 3 words in text messages that have been identified as a high likelihood that the text message is a foreign boiler room generated scam from one of these, scam-a-lama foreign
boiler room text things. Is it words?
Calls and it's actual words. Yeah.
So it's not like okay.
3 specific words. Any idea? 3 specific words that are now claimed to be a telltale sign that this is a scam.
So are these words all, strung together?
Yeah. So it's more of a part of a phrase or a part of a sentence. So these cyber crooks, these cyber son of a bitches, they disproportionately use these words in their texts, and it's been identified. And it's also indicative that English is not their first language. And you're not going to guess it.
Okay.
Is it something like, go ahead.
Me need money.
No.
Right?
No. It's actually, it's not like pigeony broken like that.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not like love long time or something.
Me love you long time.
Is it like,
me love you long time.
Is it something like you are well or hope you are well? Or?
You know what? You're close.
Okay.
You're close. These are the words. would you kindly?
Ooh.
Yeah, look for that in text messages where it's some kind of an attempted communication from your bank or from anyone trying to separate you from your money with some kind of a story. Look for the words, would you kindly, in a text. And you've got all these fraudulent text messages out there to get banking information. Click on this link. Did you make this charge? And people like, we've just processed the charge for $726. If this is incorrect, click here and give us your blood type and all of your lifelong information. I don't know who does that. But again, look for the words, would you kindly, in a scam text. And it's just been identified that they use those words very, very often.
Okay, well, guess who uses them often I just did a search. Would you kindly, in my text search, my dental office. What are they up to?
Oh, my God.
They're scamming me.
They're a Nigerian boiler room scam operation.
All right. So a couple of minutes ago, we talked about the American treasure, Chuck Norris.
Yes.
Dropping off water.
Yep.
And I just got sent a Chuck Norris water joke.
Oh, no.
When Chuck Norris...
Well, first of all, I've not heard a Chuck Norris joke since 2008.
Okay. Well, sit back.
16 years.
Have a seat.
Okay.
Here it comes.
All right. Go ahead.
When Chuck Norris falls into the water, Chuck Norris doesn't get wet. The water gets Chuck Norris.
Oh, jeez.
Good
It's funny.
Lovely. Let me get Susie Lopez on the phone, the Hillsborough County State Attorney, as they're going after this monster that tied this dog to a fence. I mean, really just horrifically egregious. A little presser yesterday. Hang on, let me dial up Susie. Tell you what, the dog is safer with Susie. Tell you that. All right, let's see here. 813. All right, calling her cell phone.
Good morning, MJ.
Good morning, State Attorney Susie Lopez. Welcome back to the MJ Morning Show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I think a lot of people's stomachs were turned when we heard the story, and luckily a Florida Highway Patrol trooper found this dog tied to a pole during Hurricane Milton, and it turns out now the individual has been caught, and Giovanni Aldama Garcia, 23 years old, of Ruskin, has now been charged with aggravated animal cruelty, third-degree felony. Susie, what can you tell us about this?
MJ, this is one of the most appalling things that I've seen during the hurricane. I've seen so many acts of heroism. I stayed at HCSO for 3 nights and saw these guys going out and protecting our community. And then to see that someone did this to their own pet. We're supposed to be taking care of our most vulnerable, our children, the elderly, and our animals. And so to know that this man, who had been trying to get rid of the dog, and I say get rid because I think those are his words, to get rid of the dog for several months before this, and this was the way he chose to do it. I'm glad that he was caught when he tried to go and reclaim the dog.
Yeah, so this Garcia, this Giovanni Aldama Garcia, 23-year-old idiot, again, third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. According to your office, Garcia told police that he abandoned his dog Jumbo while on his way to Georgia because he couldn't find anyone to pick the dog up. So he ties the dog to a fence in rising waters on the side of a highway. This was
we have a Category 5 hurricane getting ready to bear down on us.
On Wednesday, October 9th, a dog now known as Trooper was found abandoned in floodwaters up to his chest on I-75 in Tampa. During the evacuation, according to Dave Kerner, executive director of the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, based upon subsequent criminal investigation, state troopers secured and executed a felony arrest warrant yesterday on Giovanni Aldama Garcia, 23, of Ruskin, for aggravated animal cruelty. Our agency is grateful for the unprecedented support of State Attorney Susie Lopez and her prosecutors. particularly during a state of emergency. The criminal investigation is active and ongoing, and additional information unavailable at this time. Also, Susie, you're calling on state lawmakers to change the law.
You know, I am, because during a state of emergency, and we are actually still in one, during a state of emergency, certain crimes can be enhanced. A burglary of a home, for example, is normally a second-degree felony. It becomes a first during a state of emergency. I urge our lawmakers to look at this case, look at our charge that we have. This was done during a state of emergency because the reason he tied him up is that he was trying to get himself to Georgia. This could be enhanced, and if it were enhanced, would be a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years in the Florida State Prison. This man's going to be held accountable to the fullest extent that we can, and that's exactly what we plan on doing.
I saw your statement yesterday that you take animal cruelty and abuse very seriously in Hillsborough County, like you should, in normal times, but then in a state of emergency. And then this guy, then he shows up to try to reclaim the dog. Apparently, he showed up at the Hillsborough County Animal Shelter and showed pictures of the dog to try to say, hey, that's my dog?
Yes, he showed up. He showed up there because he said, I've seen my dog on TV. I've seen him on the news. I want my dog back.
And by the way, the dog was taken because of the events going on. The dog was actually taken to the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
So the dog traveled
to Tallahassee now, from what I understand.
Yeah, the dog traveled to Tallahassee?
Up in the Panhandle, absolutely.
Yeah. And if the dog is not adopted in Tallahassee, I can tell y'all, I've had so many people say, I want him, I want him, I want him. So Trooper is very, very loved and is going to have a great life from here on out once he's away from Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, this Giovanni Aldama Garcia, 23 years old of Ruskin, should never be allowed to touch a pet, a dog, an animal ever again.
No. Why would they take the dog 15 counties away?
I would put his pictures up at petting zoos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, they have like pictures of child molesters or
not at petting zoos.
Go.
Not at petting
they have pictures up of be on the lookout for this.
Yeah.
Don't let this guy touch any animal anywhere.
Right. No, and we're fully in favor of that. I can definitely assure you.
After he's charged and prosecuted, Susie, can he maybe not live within like 500 feet of a Petco?
There you go.
I mean, I got to tell you, I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Tell you what, on
I just walked outside of my yard. I got parking everywhere because we love our animals.
Yeah, on National Dog Day, he should not be able to turn his porch light on. Turn his porch light on.
During police interrogations, can we just repeatedly play "Who Let the Dogs Out"?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Until he goes crazy.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Susie,
Well, it was raining cats and dogs that day. So,
it
Oh, my
was.
gosh.
I mean, what a sicko. Susie Lopez, thank you for coming on the MJ Morning Show. Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez. And yes, I agree, safer with Susie. Thank you, Susie.
Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.
All
You
right.
too.
All right.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Okay. I don't
And
think.
can you believe the gall of that guy to then try to show up and say, oh, that's my dog I tied to him? Obviously, this guy's not a brain surgeon.
I mean, if you do that to a dog, you're not coming back for it, right? I mean, leave it on the side of the interstate. What a terrible guy.
Oh, man.
And I guess so drivers called, pound FHP, right? Is that the
Star FHP.
Star FHP.
Star FHP.
So they called Highway Patrol and said, hey, there's an animal on the side of the road. And of course, they're driving by at 80 miles an hour. They didn't know the exact location. So as the storm is about to bear down, troopers were traveling the stretch of road looking for the animal. He was already almost submerged up to his neck in water.
Yeah. I mean, the dog.
And the troopers did a fantastic job finding him.
Yeah. The dog could have drowned.
Absolutely.
So luckily, the dog is okay. And what they said, the dog's original name is Jumbo?
Garcia named him Jumbo, and the officer's like, all right, Jumbo's out. We're going to call you Trooper in honor of the...
But the dog probably knows its name is Jumbo, so you might want to... maybe Jumbo Trooper.
You know what?
Yeah.
Well, the dog doesn't speak English. You give the dog a treat, he'll answer to Trooper.
Okay.
Or he'll start his new life with his nice people as
Listen,
Trooper.
if you have a treat in your hand, you can call your dog anything, and he'll come.
And tons of people want to...
Oh, he's going to have a great home.
Yeah. Hey, let me call Chloe quickly. By the way, my daughter Chloe is actually working at the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office. She's a felony assistant. while she is applying for law school right now. And they have a couple more. They've been Michelle, and they got interrupted with the hurricane, but Michelle and Chloe, they've been working diligently, and Chloe's been putting in all these applications, and now they got to get back to it. But Chloe's been writing essays, and really working hard, applying for law school to attend next year. But for the next over a year, because she started over the summer, she's going to be working at the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office, and she is as a legal assistant in one of the felony divisions. So she's learning a whole lot even before she goes to law school. All right, I got to call Chloe because of the ellipses question from earlier today. If you missed this, we spoke about this in the first hour, that Generation Z is confused about why the older generations use the ... or the ellipses, the 3 dots, almost like a continuation or a trail off or, an et cetera type of thing. Mm-hmm. And I read this item that Generation Z is confused why older generations use what they call the boomer ellipses, and they think it's insane. What? Hang on, let me see if Chloe will. She's getting ready for work. I guess she's probably getting ready to leave here. Hang on a minute.
I gotta say, I use the ellipses as like a breath or a dramatic pause.
I use it often.
Yeah.
All right, big ellipses person.
Calling up Chloe.
Yes.
Hey, are you listening to the show?
No.
I just had Susie Lopez on talking about the abandoned dog, but that's not why I'm calling you. I'm calling you because do you know what ellipses? Do you know what ellipses is?
Like the punctuate, the ...
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
All right. So Chloe, you're 20. How old are you now? You're 23.
Yes.
All right. So I have an item here that says Generation Z, of which you're part of Generation Z, born in 2001. That Generation Z is confused why older generations use the ellipses, the ...
Okay.
Are you confused?
No, I use it. I'm also like a grammar queen. Like
All right.
English is my language, and I always excelled in it. So there's no confusion.
Yeah, because English is one of your degrees, right?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, and you use it, and it sounds like if you use it, you like it. You appreciate it.
Yes.
Right?
So you're saying you speak English, do you, Chloe? Huh. You may want to let the law schools know.
So look at this. So Chloe is Gen Z.
These stories are BS.
She uses ellipses.
Yeah, these stories. You know what they're trying to do?
Hold on.
This is trying to pit one generation against the other, and that hatred just isn't there. She
know what?
embraces ellipses just like we do.
This is a classic case of haterade.
It is.
Hey,
Yep.
Chloe, on your law school applications, do you put fluent in English?
Yes.
Yeah. So Chloe, what are your degrees? Are English?
English, history, and international affairs.
Look at that, set up nicely for law school. All right, how many more law schools are you applying to?
About 35.
Well, hold on.
Why?
Wait a minute.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No.
I have like 50 on my list that I was interested in, but I'm not entirely sure how many I'm going to actually apply to. I guess it just depends. It's a waiting game. I have to see like where I get into, and and then if I don't get into some schools, then it'll make me apply to more. So.
All right, now I know, and I'm not going to mention where, but Chloe did have an early decision. So Chloe kind of singled out an early decision school, which hopefully you'll find out within a month or so. But how many total applications have you put in for law school as of now?
5.
You're 5 in. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and I could probably get two or three more in tonight.
All right, very good.
All right, so tonight you're mailing in the Oral Roberts University and ITT Tech.
Yeah. Yeah. University of Phoenix Law School online. All right.
That'd be great.
All right. Chloe, I'll talk to you in a bit, okay?
Bye.
No, the National Bartending School Law School.
That's where
That
you
sounds
take the
fun.
bar.
Listen,
Yeah.
I know a lot of lawyers who are friends who are friends with people who graduated from the bartender academy.
There you go.
If you know what I mean.
All right, Chloe, I'll talk to you in a bit.
I'll get a dual degree there.
All
All
right,
right, bye.
Have a good one.
You'd be the most popular girl in the firm.
Hey, was this a good idea? Did you see that 2 new pandas arrived for the National Zoo? What is it, like the Smithsonian runs it up in D.C.? This is a big story yesterday that 2 pandas arrived from China. And here's the story, but there was one thing that stood out, and I'm like, was that really the best name? And I'll explain in a second. So 2 giant pandas are on loan to the National Zoo. They arrived from China on a FedEx freighter yesterday. I guess they flew into, I would imagine, Dulles. 2 giant pandas from China, now in Washington. First time the U.S. Capitol has welcomed a new set of pandas from Beijing in 24 years. The pandas, Bao Li and King Bao, 3 years old, landed at the Dulles yesterday morning just before 10 a.m. The FedEx plane was dubbed. Do you have any idea where this is going?
No.
Well, it has to do with the delivery of these 2 pandas.
All right, okay, FedEx,
Right.
They're bringing pandas. What do you think they called the plane?
Pan X.
The Panda Express?
Yes.
The restaurant? Yes.
Panda Express is a freaking chain of Chinese restaurants. Wait a minute. So
Good job, Pastor.
they called it the Panda Express. They had a giant picture of a panda on the side of the FedEx freighter. And then they had the name on the side of the FedEx, Panda Express. I mean, was that a good idea? I mean, Panda Express is the Chinese, food chain. Do you know how many Panda Express Chinese restaurants there are in the country right now?
3,000.
You're close. There's over 2,400 locations.
Really?
Over 2,400 Panda Express locations.
Oh my God, look at the plane. There's a big old panda on it.
I told you, there's a big panda, a huge panda right next to the FedEx logo. And then it also says Panda Express on the side of the cockpit. And that's what they're calling it. But really?
You know what's going to really, really, really make you mad about these pandas?
What,
MJ?
that they tried to give the pandas Kung Pao chicken instead of bamboo shoots?
That's the joke. That's it. I was going to say orange chicken.
Orange chicken.
I was waiting.
General Tso's chicken
I was waiting.
from Panda Express.
I don't
And
see
they're
it.
going to put it on their TikTok accounts.
Oh, no. Yeah. These pandas are probably Chinese spies.
You know what? Listen,
they're just
Humans
giving
in costumes.
They're giving all the information.
a bunch of spies in costumes.
They're giving
bamboo shoots for the homeland.
They're giving all the information back to communist China.
In all seriousness, this is great that the animals are there. Pandas, not politics, people.
Yeah, Panda Express. All right, let me give out the cash kitty. Speaking of animals, a lot of animals. We have the dog story.
Yeah.
We have the panda now, and now we got cash kitty. Right now, your chance to win $1,000 with our national contest. This hour's word is award, as in award of the state. No. But
No, that's not how you spell it.
no.
One word.
It would be.
Well, if you put
but
it, smash it together.
Yeah, it would be A and then ward. But no, this is one word. So award, AWARD, award. Text the word award right now nationwide to 45911 before quarter after for a shot at $1,000 cash, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myQ105.com. Again, text the word award, AWARD, to 45911. Nationwide, 45911. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. All right, I want to go to phones here quickly. It's not going to take a long time. A couple of phone calls. And hopefully the phone doesn't ring. I want to know, before today, we were taking calls on where to find gas. Because, listen, Friday was after Thursday after the storm, it was a mess. Friday into Saturday. Sunday, it started to get better. Monday, even better. Tuesday, really a lot better as far as finding gas. So I'm not going to take any more phone calls on where can you find gas. I want to talk to people right now who still can't find gas. I want to know what's going on in your life. All right. If you still can't find gas, call us up. 800-990-1047. I just want to have a conversation with you. All right. 800-990-1047. If you still can't find gas. 800-990-1047. I'm hoping I take no phone calls here.
Yeah, I'm afraid these might be the same people who just found out their kids don't have school in Hillsborough County today.
And I can't find gas.
All right, I'm looking. I see phones are ringing, but I think we had some calls on hold. I think they were on hold for other things. So Andrew, go screen all these calls.
And there's going to be the more than a couple of gas stations still not operational. We don't need to hear about that.
Listen, there are gas stations that are still probably without power and they're not pumping. And as I mentioned numerous times, the Florida legislature and the governor, they really have to address the failure of the legislation that was enacted back in 2006 for generator requirements and getting stations up and running. Because clearly, in the days after the storm, it was a colossal failure. After 2004 and Wilma, Jean, whatever, all those storms back in 2004, they enacted legislation because we had a similar problem where stations did not have gas because there was no power. So there was all kinds of requirements for new gas stations to have transfer switches that you can back up a generator, or some stations had to have a generator. And it just seems that none of that worked well.
I don't know if that's the case as much as it was a distribution issue, because before the storm, everybody drank the stations dry. And then after the storm, immediately the port has to make their repairs and get operational and then get the fuel out.
It's a combination. So you had some power outages at the Port of Tampa. You had some flooding down in Port Tampa. We had issues. Manatee, the little, port there. Listen, there were issues all the way around, but there are problems where stations had fuel in the ground fester, that tanks were full or they had gas in the ground and they couldn't get it out because the stations didn't have power. So that it has to be reexamined. This has to be looked at in the next legislative session. All right, good. Andrew, you're telling me that all the calls you're going through, nobody is calling about still not being able to find gas. You know what? Faith in Floridians has been restored.
Yes.
That we're not having anyone say, I can't find gas still.
Nope.
I mean, all things considered, I think
Stop with your NPR terminology, man, okay?
Well, 1A.
All right, go ahead.
No, listen.
Yeah.
I think the state did a really efficient job getting as many things as they could back running as quickly as they can.
Oh, no, listen, I think that the state has done a decent job, absolutely. And I think that the DeSantis and his administration, very proactive. It's the gas stations, the legislature, the 2006 law on power and generators. There needs to be something changed. We have to figure it out and improve for, hopefully we don't have it next time, but if there is.
The frustration is now shifting. I don't know if you could smell this in the air from no power and no gas, which now people mostly have power and gas is accessible again. The attention is back to the piles, the debris piles.
Yeah.
And I know the city of Tampa
Yeah.
had an initiative to pick as much of it up as they can. And how'd they do? I mean, you're closer to a lot of that debris.
So
did they do a good job with that?
Yeah, in my neighborhood, they picked up as much debris as they could up till like 3 p.m. Wednesday before Milton. But still, there were large piles of debris in my neighborhood from the one-story homes that got creamed with the Helene flooding. So they didn't get everything. But then last weekend on Sunday, remember, I saw like a dozen dump trucks from Davenport, from Kissimmee, from places outside the Tampa Bay area. In my neighborhood, there were like 12 dump trucks staged. And then down the street, there were dump trucks and front end loaders and backhoes, and they were loading up these dump trucks. And when one got filled, they'd call in another one.
Yeah, but all that's happening in the cot. In the county, however, it's,
by the way, Cot, City of Tampa.
It's a thing I'm trying to get people to take on.
Yeah.
So in the cot, Mayor Jane, she's like, hey, get these dump trucks in here. Let's get the stuff up. And they did a really efficient job for the most part. But in the county, there's still a lot of piles. In other counties, there's still a lot. Now there's all the vegetation, the trees, the downed logs.
It's multifaceted. And even in the city of Tampa, I thought I heard yesterday that it's going to take 3 months to gather all the debris.
Oh, I bet.
So that's the estimate now, 3 months, which puts you into the first part of January.
My neighbors and I have
we'll get all your stuff picked up by 2025. It's because it is so voluminous. There's so much crap to pick up.
So my neighbors and I have a running joke we kind of started over the weekend. An over-under. Will they pick up our street before or after New Year's? And
hold on. You guys have a bet going on?
Well, there's no real money involved.
Well, come on, make it interesting. Have some money involved.
There is block pride.
You know what? Hard Rock Sportsbook needs to add that to their.
Dude, if you watch a commercial closely, Post Malone is actually betting on how long it's going to take the county to pick up all the stuff.
Yeah, if you look at the Hard Rock commercial with Post Malone,
I love that commercial, by the way.
Isn't he like betting like $86,000 or something?
I thought it was like 100 and something.
Maybe it was.
Well, I think that's a great commercile, by the way. But yeah, how long is it going to take?
Well, the commercial's there to say that, hey, you can place a big bet or you can place a little $5 bet.
Range.
Post Malone size bet. But how long is it going to take before you pick up all the debris and the frustration starts to mount? Because a lot of these logs are still really close to the road, or some of them are in the road. You have to skirt around them. It's a lot of stuff.
All right, Andrew is screening calls. Andrew, is there anything I need to take over here? Anything? All right, just let me know. Let's get into the latest on Lieutenant Dan. This dude, he's been dubbed that Lieutenant Dan. That's not his real name. Then you have a social media content creator that started like a GoFundMe account. This story is crazy. So Lieutenant Dan is this local dude that rode out both hurricanes on a boat, which is clearly a stupid thing to do.
But he lives to tell about it.
Hey, he does. So listen to this. Let me share a story.
Is he one-legged?
I believe he might be.
Okay, I don't know. I know nothing of this Lieutenant Dan before the last week. Really, I never even heard of him after Helene that much.
We really didn't get a chance to talk. We had so many other things to deal with in the aftermath, and dealing with a stupid dude, that really wasn't on my my list of things. But listen to this: a woman who says she's the daughter of Joseph Malinowski, 54 years old, Tampa man who went viral, who has been now dubbed Lieutenant Dan for his decision to ride out the approaching hurricanes Helene and Milton on his boat, is worried that his sudden fame and donations from well-wishers will put her father at risk. Ashley Ann Malinowski voiced her concern in a series of social media videos.
He is one-legged. Look at him standing here.
Yeah, I believe he is.
Yeah.
He's lost his left foot mid-calf.
Lieutenant Dan was doing just fine without all that money, she told viewers on one video. She said, y'all, TikTok effing famous people, y'all blowing him up, and he's going to be dead before he can effing enjoy that boat and stuff, because look at him. After y'all got a hold of him, now he's high as F on all these videos.
Oh, so let's get this straight. It wasn't his boats in the middle of the hurricane that were going to kill him. It was the TikTok.
No, well, it's a combination of both. Here, first I want you to listen to Lieutenant Dan's daughter. This is audio of Lieutenant Dan's daughter, Ashley Ann, and what she has to say. Listen to this.
Lieutenant Dan was doing just fine without all that money. Y'all TikTok famous people and all that, y'all blowing him up, and he's gonna be dead before he can even enjoy that boat and stuff, because look at him. After y'all got a hold of him, and now he's high as on all these videos. Is it just weed? Is it just weed? Yes, I'm his daughter. I'm his daughter, and I've had to keep tabs on that man for 10 years trying to make sure that he's alive, and now he's going to get all of this and probably end up dead because of it. Probably end up dead because of it. Because
he's got a drug issue, apparently, and then all of this money coming in. And the whole money issue is a deal because one of the original TikTokers that did the video to make him famous started a GoFundMe, and it raised like $7,000 initially. And I guess the TikToker gave him the $7,000, but then it subsequently went on to make like $50,000, close to $50,000. And then Lieutenant Dan now wants that money, and now he's threatening to sue, and he's screaming about defamation of character. Here, listen to this.
And I'm really not trying to give it much energy, aside from just making sure that he's alive. That's what I try to do. I try to just make sure he's alive and he's good. But y'all are going to put him in the grave.
Yeah.
Put him in the grave early for making him famous and giving him this money and offering him this shit. Like, y'all don't even know what the you're doing.
She's right.
You don't know that man. You don't know him at all.
She's right.
Nobody actually cares for him either. Nobody actually cares. Y'all are just using him to make him famous, make yourselves more famous, make yourself look good. But nobody cares.
Wow.
She's absolutely right. I mean, so the little bit I'm learning about this guy, if he didn't have this like lore about him now, he's a piece of crap. This guy's been arrested for multiple times.
Yeah.
He is not somebody you'd want to
Yeah.
associate with unless you're trying to help the indigent.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been arrested for battery against a law enforcement officer,
battery
drug
with
possession,
a deadly weapon. Yeah.
breaking and entering, deadly. So, I mean, listen, the guy is who he is, and he has his past.
The
He
guy's
is not a hero.
He's not an upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
And, they turned this guy with a multitude of problems and arrests. They've turned this guy into like a social media hero, and he's got a pretty sketchy background.
He's no hero. He is, unless I'm working with a charitable organization helping people who are at homeless level or a click above or drug issues.
Apparently, he tried to set a woman on fire, too.
I don't want to hang out with people who try to set anybody on fire.
Yeah, here's another story. A 54-year-old man apparently living in the Tampa area became an internet sensation after he refused to leave his sailboat as Hurricane Milton approached. Joseph Malinowski, who is missing his left foot and part of his leg, has attracted a dedicated following online. Footage shows him on a pair of crutches and talking with officers alongside his boat. He tells them that he has no plans to leave the boat despite evacuation warnings in anticipation of deadly storm surges. Now that the storm is cleared, the sun is shining light on Malinowski's extensive criminal history, with arrest records revealing that he recently was charged with trying to set a woman on fire.
Not a good guy.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Documents from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office show Malinowski allegedly argued with a woman who was sitting on an outdoor bench in February of 2023. Malinowski, the records indicated, poured gasoline on the bench and set it on fire before splashing the woman with gasoline. He was later charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. So, I mean,
it's not like this isn't.
Yeah, stop turning this guy, Lieutenant Dan, into like some kind of a hero. This guy's a mess.
It's not one terrible decision that he made 40 years ago. This is 2023. This is last year.
According to the records, the woman told authorities she was smoking a cigarette at the time and feared for her life due to the potential of the gasoline igniting. The woman said police called 911 and moved his crutches away from him to stop him from using the crutches as a weapon and escaping. Was he trying to use his crutches to beat her also?
I mean, they are weapons.
Trying to set her on fire wasn't enough? You're going to beat him with your crutches?
If you use them in that way, I mean.
Malinowski told authorities the woman had thrown several cans at him before he splashed her, but police said no cans were seen in the area. He also said that he spilled the gasoline and lit it to burn the residue off the bench.
All right.
Denied splashing the woman with gasoline.
So the daughter is absolutely right, MJ.
Yeah.
This kind of person, and who, if he comes into a lot of money, and I put 50 grand in the a lot of money category.
Yeah.
He's going to kill himself.
Arrest records
Or
from
someone else.
Arrest records from this previous summertime arrest show that Malinowski was charged with failure to transfer ownership of a vessel within 30 days. So now there's a belief that the sailboat that he was trying to ride out the storms on, that he doesn't even own the sailboats.
Was he a sailboat squatter?
Something to that effect. Another arrest record indicates that he was charged with failing to appear in court for an arraignment in connection with the case. It's also unclear where he lives, as several documents list his address as at large. Also has been arrested for battery against a police officer, drug possession, attempted breaking and entering. but there's like some kind of a public love for this guy.
There's a lore. There's a romanticism about him. He is not Lieutenant Dan from the movie that was a decorated war veteran who had mental issues dealing with his PTSD, and he figures it out and ends up happily married with the magic leg.
But he does like seafood.
Loves it.
Shrimp gumbo,
Popcorn,
shrimp Creole, popcorn, shrimp, boiled shrimp.
I mean, he is
such a good movie.
This guy is not a part owner of Bubba Gump Industries and invested all the money in Apple. This isn't the movie.
Yeah. He said, God sent me here. This is Lieutenant Dan Malinowski. God sent me here. He sent me here. He told me to come here. My life, this is nothing compared to what I've been through, so this doesn't scare me. This is not even a minor inconvenience. Apparently, that's what he said after officers warned him, dude, you're going to die if you stay on this boat. Yeah, as of Friday morning, he had this whole, litany of fans, social media. More than 46 grand was raised on GoFundMe.
It's crazy. And I mean, his daughter's right. If he comes into this, if this money's put into a trust or a fund where he can get some kind of dividend and maybe get help or get his life together, that's one thing.
All right, now it gets even loonier.
What?
Now it gets even crazier because this is audio of Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, no.
Threatening to sue people.
Who's he going to sue?
For defamation, and he wants his money. Here, listen to this. This is Lieutenant Dan.
Everything will come out in court because if I don't get the money from Terrence, I'm going to sue him.
All right, so one of the TikTok video social media creators, he already got apparently $7 grand, but the amount of money is so big now, it's like 50 grandish. And he doesn't have a bank account, and like getting him that kind of money, it's like very difficult. And now he wants all of that other money. His daughter is saying, no, he's just going to kill himself and buy drugs with the money. His own daughter is saying that. So now he's threatening legal action against the social media creator that started the GoFundMe, that he better get every last dime of that GoFundMe. Here, listen.
Everything will come out in court because if I don't get the money from Terrence, I'm going to sue him. And any more comments about me, I'm going to start suing people for defamation of character because now I'm a public official. I'm not public, but not that I...
Dude, you got that wrong. So it's harder to sue for defamation of character if you're a public official or publicly known or it's...
You're better off being just a quiet private citizen.
It's the other way around there, dude. Yeah, you don't have a better chance at a lawsuit now that you're calling yourself a public official. And of course, you're not a public official.
Never wanted this. So keep your comments to yourself, okay? I don't talk about you. Don't talk about me. Hey, although, it is your right. You can do whatever you want. This is America, right? You could say whatever you want, but you got to pay taxes to do it, all right? I'd like to do away with the tax part, and then you could just shut your mouth.
So there we go. That's Lieutenant Dan.
All right.
Wow, what a freaking story. I mean, tens of millions of views now on this story. He was on this like 20-foot sailboat, like a dinghy, and he's riding out Helene and then Milton.
So here's the guy, Terrence Concannon.
Yeah. So that's
okay.
I'm on his TikTok page.
Yeah.
And he's got almost 800,000 followers.
Yeah,
and
I saw him.
Here's a video with 6 million views of what's his name?
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan, or his real name is Joseph Malinowski.
So he's, and the daughter's right. He's getting drunk and high off of all this fame and attention, which he's never really had before in a positive capacity. And this guy's going to kill himself. Wow. Chief of Tampa trying to. Here's Chief Burkhaw. Here's a clip on. Of the TikTok.
Yeah. So
Chief Burkhaw's going up to Dan's boat, saying, "Hey, get the hell out of here before the storm."
Wow. Yeah. So Burkhaw is like trying to talk to him in downtown Tampa. Yeah. He's where was he tied up? Is that? Oh, it's near the.
It's right near the convention center.
Yeah, right near the. What's the bridge?
Oh, I know what you're
the
talking
bridge
about.
with the round the little watchtower. You know what's is Ashley? What
It's near Ashley, crosses Ashley, right?
You know what? I lived here for 30 years. What's the name of that?
The bridge at Bayshore
Yeah.
Boulevard goes over.
Yes, exactly.
What's the name of that damn thing? All right.
It's gonna hit us later.
All right. So listen, that's the update on Lieutenant Dan.
Chief is walking away like deuces, fool.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What time is it? 8:24 at the MJ Morning Show. Do you? Oh, it's the Platt Street Bridge. Thank you. It's the
There we
Platt.
go. Thank you, Andrew.
It's the Platt Street Bridge.
So obvious.
Been over 10,000 times. Like, what the hell's the name of this damn
knew
bridge?
that.
All right, the Platt Street Bridge. All right. So I want you to take a guess here, and totally shifting gears. How much money do you think OnlyFans has paid out to content creators over the past 8 years? Think about this. How much money has OnlyFans paid out to those that are on the platform selling their wares, whatever they're doing, whatever their content is, collecting money?
Oh, man.
How much money over 8 years do you think OnlyFans has paid out?
I mean, there's a reasonable amount of these creators that really make a lot of money.
All right, go ahead. What are you thinking? What's your guess?
$200 million?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. $300 million?
Really?
About half $500 million?
Oh, dude.
Is it in the billions?
Yes.
Okay. $1.5 billion. $2 billion. More than $2 billion?
Yes.
Wow. How much higher
Roxanne,
can we go?
what are you, mute over there all of a sudden?
I'm just
take a
listening to
guess.
Fester.
It's more than $2 billion if you're going to
I'm
take a
going
shot.
to say 2.5 billion.
Ooh.
Nope.
Did I bust?
I will go with 2.55 billion.
No,
Is
keep
it
going.
5 billion?
3 billion?
10 billion?
Keep going.
More than $10 billion?
Yes, more than $10 billion.
Oh, my God. Roxanne, you really should have got on those selling feet pics things when I told you 4 years ago.
I know.
What? $20 billion.
Did you say $20 billion? Right on the money.
Yeah, thank God that music will stop playing.
Oh, you don't like the music?
I mean, it was a long time.
Okay, I had no idea it was that much money.
Yeah, that's
The
incredible.
CEO of OnlyFans, Kelly Blair, has revealed the unbelievable amount that they've paid out since its 2016 beginning. That is insane. They've paid out over $20 billion in 8 years to the content creators.
That is some content right there.
Roxanne, do you know any OnlyFans content creators?
I do, only the girl who calls the show,
Who's
Allie
the-
Ray.
Oh, yeah,
Allie Ray.
And she's one of the higher earners, but
Yeah.
wow, I mean, around the world, so many different niches. There's a lot of people making money on
We've
it.
had Allie Ray on the show before because Allie Ray was a neonatal nurse up in Boston, like an RN, neonatal nurse. And she started a little side hustle on OnlyFans and, doing some, adult content. And then I guess they found that at the hospital. And then I guess they came up with a decision, an agreement that she would leave. Anyway, she ended up down here and she does, adult content with her husband on OnlyFans. And we've had her on before, talk about the whole nursing issue and, neonatal, her previous career. And I think I saw something that they stayed in their condo at Clearwater Beach or something and the windows were all blown out and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you take video of it and exploit it on OnlyFans for tips?
What do you do? Like in a hurricane, if you're staying in your place and the windows are blowing out, do you take your top off and are you jiggling and topless during the windows getting blown in?
All right.
Like hurricane porn? Is it hurricane porn?
Thank you, followers. And in honor of my windows getting blown out, I have a special video collection.
Yeah, I wonder if that usage of that increased prior to or after the storm.
Let me go back to my hurricane pile here. Just a couple of things. Again, Withlacoochee, speaking of Coochie, the Withlacoochee River, the historic flooding continues, and it's not done yet. I mean, water is still going to continue to rise. So please, lightning, Tampa Bay Lightning they're going to play their home opener coming up here. And that was last night.
Yeah, they even had a lot of linemen there from Vancouver.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, there's
wow.
I mean, there's a reasonable amount of Canadian linemen.
So, yeah, the home opener was listen, I've just lost track. I don't even know what day of the week. What is this, Wednesday? All right, so the home opener for the Lightning was last night, and I guess the Lightning had said that with the home opener, we're going to be very, very sensitive to, obviously, what just happened here in Tampa Bay. So, thank you, Andrew. The home opener was last night, and they had a whole bunch of linemen that were invited to the game.
What does that mean? We're going to be very sensitive to what happened. I mean, it's a hockey game.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't playing the Carolina Hurricanes.
What? They decide. Yeah. I think they toned down the hockey fights last night. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. But they said they were going to be very, very. And then
the Lightning won.
Speaking of, and the Lightning won last night,
So
37-2. So it was what was the score, Andrew? Do you know?
4-1.
It was what?
4-1.
So
Thank you.
That was the first game, so they're undefeated, right?
Andrew,
That was the second game, the first home game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are undefeated.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, so the Lightning are 2-0 right now.
Yes.
The perfect season continues. Go Ning.
And hockey, man, it's the sport that season never ends.
It really does go on for a long time.
Hockey never ends.
Just when you think it might be over, it keeps going.
All the best teams seem to be in Florida. Amazing.
Yeah. And then as far as the Rays go, I believe that I heard that the Rays have announced that opening day will not occur at the Trop.
Well, they're going to forfeit the season?
No, they got to play somewhere else. No, I look at it. Just confirm what I'm saying. I thought I heard yesterday or last night that the Rays organization said that they will not be playing in the Trop for opening day.
Here's from Sports Illustrated. Tropicana Field won't be ready for 2025 opening day due to Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, so this is, let's see, Hurricane Milton.
Yeah.
Hurricane Milton left a path of destruction in its wake across Florida. Among the areas impacted by the Category 3 storm was Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. According to Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times, the damage to the stadium is still being assessed, although it's been made clear that the Rays won't be able to play at the stadium on opening day 2025, which is scheduled for March 27th. So remember yesterday I went through the list of possibilities, Al Lopez, the Wide World of Sports over at the Disney complex, Steinbrenner Field, Plant High School.
I mean, they can do it.
A Palmacia Little League.
I mean, dude, when they play a team like, the Las Vegas A's or they play some crap teams, they don't draw. A Tuesday night game, they could play at Palmacia Little League, still have room in the stands.
We need an average stadium that holds about 16,000. That's perfect. That's what our average attendance was this past season.
Oh, with the Coochie-Coo, with the Withlacoochee River, I saw earlier that part of US 301 was shut down because the water from the Withlacoochee had gone over US 301. Up in, Hernando.
That sucks.
Yeah. How about that? What else here?
So there's no place for this water to drain to.
No, it's too much for the natural tributaries to take the water to the Gulf and its outlets. There's just too much water because of the geological features and the depth and the width. It just can't handle the amount of upstream water that's coming out to drain.
How many more mosquitoes are we going to have to put up with all this standing? I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. My poor kid got attacked. She just went out to hang something on the mailbox, a Halloween decoration.
Yeah, Roxanne's kid has malaria.
Well, don't even say that. Seriously. Yeah. She came in and I said, she was begging, Mom, everybody has their Halloween decorations out. I need to put this on the mailbox. So I said, come right back in. She was out there for 60 seconds and she came in and she had mosquito bites all over her.
Probably has malaria now.
Don't even say that.
It's a possibility,
well, hold on. You need to send her out in a mosquito tent. Or the 100% DEET.
We need kid-sized beekeeper outfits to keep our kids safe from these mosquitoes.
Did you get any ticks on her too?
No ticks.
You know what? Put a Hearts 2-in-1 flea collar on her. That's what you had. Do they still do those?
think
Do they
so.
still have those flea collars? Remember those white, like rubbery flea collars? When I was a kid, we used to put those on our dogs. I don't think they ever worked.
I want to say my dog takes a pill now or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, they do. They take the flea, the tick, and the
Flea and tick,
heartworm
yeah.
pill.
I have zero to do with dog care.
Yeah.
I don't care about this dog.
All right, Jimmy Petronas sent me this yesterday. It's pretty well publicized that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. There's only one. It's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer. Only one engineer. So the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
No, his name is Frank. One guy. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah,
hard worker.
They've launched Operation Blue Roof, which helps property owners put blue tarps on their roof in the wake of Milton to protect their homes while they're awaiting repairs. So Operation Blue Roof provides those fiber-reinforced industrial-strength tarps to put over roofs, and they're available for residents of Brevard, Citrus, Charlotte, DeSoto, Hardee, Hernando, Highlands, Hillsborough, Indian River, Lake, Manatee,
A bunch of
Okeechobee,
counties.
Orange, Osceola, Pasco,
God.
Pinellas,
You gonna read
Polk,
them all?
Sarasota, yes, Seminole, St. Lucie, Sumter, and Volusia counties.
What? Not Flagler?
Yeah.
What? Not Alachua?
Yeah.
Okay, great. A bunch of counties.
Well, they have Alachua. I think they have previous tarps
Listen,
up there.
if you were affected by either of the storms, you're covered under this Operation Blue Roof.
Yeah, the quality or the to qualify rather. Yet the number one, the home must be the primary residence of the person or household requesting the emergency roof covering. Anyway, there's the residence has no more than 50% of the roof framing damaged. So listen, there's a whole list. And if you want to check out whether you qualify for this free assistance from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, just do a search, just do a quick Google for U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Operation Blue Roof. Just do a quick search and you'll find all the information you need online. I had a question. Do you think I ought to retire Milton Fludgecow, the crotchety old man, and never play another Milton Fludgecow crotchety old man call again because of Milton, the freaking hurricane that had to spoil my crank call character?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, I actually was looking at the hurricanes, the Miami hurricanes, and I was like, wow, they just, call themselves. How did they get through that when Andrew came through,
Yeah.
right? And then I look at what their character is, and it's a white ibis. The Miami Hurricanes, why can't I think of their mascot?
The
mascot is a white ibis.
Yeah, and isn't the ibis like the first bird to return after the storm? And that's how
Is that what it is?
That's how I think that's
Okay.
the lore of the ibis is when after a hurricane comes and decimates
Yeah.
everything, the first bird that returns is the
ibis.
And that's why the Miami Hurricanes has that stork-looking character. It's really an ibis.
And when you're writing a paper, the first thing that you do is the ibid. All right, forget it.
It
All
would've
right.
been
That's over our
funnier.
heads. But here's where I was going with this. Then I was like, what if one of our sports teams decided to change their name to the Hurricanes and then their mascot was Milton Fludgecow?
Oh, geez.
Like his
You know what?
caricature.
Terrible.
Wouldn't that be terrible?
That's awful.
It'd be awful.
I mean, we could change Tampa Bay Rays to the Tampa Bay Surge.
Andrew says that Chamberlain High School changed from the Hurricanes to the Storm.
That is not true.
I'm sorry. Oh, hang on.
Chamberlain High School-
Hang on. It was the Chiefs.
Chamberlain was the
All right.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I
That
got it wrong.
was-
Yeah, Andrew's in my ear. So Chamberlain High School used to be the Chiefs,
Right.
and now they're the Storm. Okay, I got it.
That was during a different kind of protest.
Yeah.
Against Native American names.
Yeah, but do you want things that are now storm related?
The short answer is who the hell cares? Because listen, we didn't stop playing Katrina and the waves when New Orleans got decimated.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
That Hurricane Katrina.
Milton's,
All right,
it's a name.
You know
It's
what?
a random
All right,
name.
let me ask the listeners right now. Let me take a couple of phone calls on this. Should I not play a Milton Fludgecow crotchety old man call ever again because of the name Milton? I'd fire up the phones. Just a quick little survey. I'm just going to take maybe one or two rounds of calls here. Just just a couple of minutes. 800-990-1047. Is it insensitive? I mean, the number of people affected by Helene and now Milton. I did hundreds of crank calls. Milton Fludgecow, the crotchety old man. Oh, thank God you've answered. What are your thoughts? Should I, you know how they retire? Like Milton is going to be retired. There is the National Hurricane Center is absolutely going to retire the name Milton. They will never use the name Milton again. What are your thoughts? Do I retire the crotchety old man Milton Fludgecow? Or do I still play some classics and maybe do some originals in the future? What do you think? 800-990-1047. Fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. Let me grab Paul is screen first in Spring Hill. Paul, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Oh, thank God you've answered.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. What do you think?
Nice.
Yeah, retire him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
So no more Milton Fludgecow because of the hurricane?
No.
All right, and why? Why do you think? You think it's insensitive?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have any other thoughts? I mean, you want to expand on that a little bit?
Just out of respect.
All right. Thanks. Listen, that's why I'm taking phone calls here. Let me grab Missy in Spring Hill. Missy, what are your thoughts on Milton Fludgecow, my crank call character?
I think you should keep the character. The only reason I thought of them being the same was by you saying that should you change it? Before that, I didn't think that they had anything to do with each other until you put that in my ear.
Well, they don't. I mean,
So
one's a crank call character. One was a nasty hurricane. But you don't think that I should discard Milton Fludgecow because of this?
I do not think so at all. He's awesome.
All right, thank you, Missy. Let me grab Kim. Can I grab Kim on two? Kim in is this Avon Park? Kim, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ and the crew, longtime listener since back in the 90s.
Thank you.
You should absolutely keep playing the Milton Fludgecow crank calls.
All right, thank you. By the way, this voting is going to be binding. Have a nice day, Kim.
This little group of calls here.
Jeff in Lakeland. Hi, Jeff. What should I do?
Hey, buddy, listen, I thought about calling you last week about this. Absolutely no way do you retire him. And I think you should do a new Milton calling in saying, this is Milton. I'm not a hurricane. And just really go on about, this is Milton Fludgecow. I'm not a hurricane. And then, dude, listen, you ought to have some T-shirts made up.
Oh, man.
We've never done that before.
You know what? I could do a crotchety old man. I could do a brand new crotchety old man call where I call the National Hurricane Center down in Miami all pissed off that they actually used the name Milton for a hurricane, and it turned out to be a nasty storm here in the Tampa Bay area.
I mean, I think you should. And then seriously, you could do T-shirts. You know how many T-shirts you could sell and then donate the money to wherever around that needs it.
You know what? That's a good idea. I
thought about
like Milton's face in the hurricane symbol, and then donate all of the proceeds to hurricane recovery. Well, Festa, why do you have a disgusted look on your face like you just drank 2 ounces of syrup of Ipecac?
I'm trying to figure the whole thing out. That's it. It's just working.
Listen,
working through.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate the call.
Interesting ideas, Jeff.
Let me grab Hector in Lutz. Hector, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, MJ, Roxanne, and Fester.
Yes.
Do not retire Milton Fludgecow. They got nothing to do with each other. He is the best prank call character that has ever been on. There's prank callers nowadays, and they still have not even close to how funny Milton Fludgecow is.
All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the support. Kristen in Newport Richie. Kristen, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
I am begging you not to retire Milton. He is hysterical, and that we need laughter and joy, and he brings that. And I love the idea of calling the Hurricane Center and having him complain.
About the name Milton. All right.
I mean, now that the Hurricane Center's not on high alert saving our lives or anything.
Thank you, Kristen. Christine in Lakeland. Hi, Christine. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Should I retire the name Milton and Milton Fludgecow, the crotchety old man character?
No.
Tell you what, we had a little bit of a fake out. The first call, Jeff, was the party pooper saying, retire him. And now every call subsequently is saying, don't retire it.
No, it's absolutely like it's one of the biggest things on this show. No.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Christine. Let me grab Julian in Lutz. Julian, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes.
I think you should absolutely keep Milton. Like, why would you get rid of him? Milton was here before the storm. Milton will be here after.
I love it. Look at this.
That sounds like your son, Julian.
Dad, hello?
Oh,
This is your son.
Dude, it's me.
He's using his real name. Yeah, how did you not? Julian,
Oh my
Julian, he
gosh.
legit did not recognize your voice.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
You tricked your dad by saying you live in Lutz.
Julian, this is my son.
You still gave him your real name.
Julian, not calling.
It's Julian from Cot.
Yeah, from Cot. You like that, Julian?
Yeah, I do like
I think
that.
I'm going to start calling it Cot instead of wasting my time saying City of Tampa.
I can't believe you faked me out.
Your face is so red right now because
Really?
you didn't notice the bird call of your son.
I'm embarrassed. I didn't recognize my own son's voice.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
Well, we knew who
Tell your
does it.
son he's the second favorite without telling him he's the second favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Julian, thanks.
And by the way, he's
All
in the
right.
auditory business, so he's supposed to know. You're supposed to know.
Exactly. You would think
voices.
so.
It
You
didn't.
would think so.
It didn't say Julian from New York City. It said Julian from Lutz.
And it totally tricked him. And you didn't even use a
Yeah.
fake voice. It's like, hi, I think you should keep it. Like,
that is crazy.
All right.
That I was so out of the zone of expectation that I didn't even know it was my own damn son calling in.
No, I think that's the first time I've actually called in on the hotline, too.
Yeah.
No, on the
you're
regular line. Yeah.
Or,
right,
sorry,
Julian.
on the regular line.
All
Yeah.
right, Julian. I'll talk to you later.
That was funny, Julian.
All right, see you later.
Oh,
Bye.
holy crap! That's hysterical.
Yeah, he got you.
Lori in St. Petersburg. Lori, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning, MJ. I think that this is the best comeback ever. Ever. I mean, I've been in sales and marketing for 17 years, and what better way to bring Milton back? Not only that, but to help the people that are in need by donating. And not to mention, we need a good laugh after this mess. We need a good laugh.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate the call. Roberto in Dunedin. Roberto, MJ Morning Show. You're up.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Roberto. What should I do with the Milton Fludgecow character?
Hello.
Roberto. Yes, we're here. Roberto, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, Roberto, you're on. Go ahead.
Hello.
All right,
Roberto.
Take your
You're
phone
messing
off
with
of
us.
mute.
Roberto.
Hello. Hello.
Roberto, you bumped the mute button.
What is he doing?
I don't know. Roberto, thank you for calling.
Let me
Or no,
Wendy in Clearwater. Wendy, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, what should I do with Milton?
I think you should keep them.
Yeah.
I don't think, not to sound mean, but I don't think it's insensitive. And these days, it seems like everything's sensitive to people, so I don't think it really matters what you name.
Thank you very much. Donna in Port Richey. Donna, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hello. I called Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donna, sounds like you were able to find the camels.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Keep them. I want you to play them more.
Okay, I got you.
You guys since MJ and BJ.
Donna, I highly appreciate the support. Thank you.
Donna,
I want more and maybe make more new ones.
Take care of yourself, Donna.
All right.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Donna. All right, hey Andrew, no more calls. Let me just do the remaining ones that are screened because this will go on all day long.
Can I just give you my quick 2 cents? I'm going to say 2 reasons that you should keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy, we didn't cancel Greece when Hurricane Sandy
Oh,
came
that's
through.
true. Yeah.
And Andrew, we haven't gotten rid of Andrew, our producer of Hurricane
My
Andrew.
middle name is Andrew.
See?
I've hated everybody named Andrew since that storm.
Dave is next. Dave, are you in Davie?
Yeah, that's right.
David-
I'm going to say retire him. I'm going to say retire him until Froggy comes back.
Oh, look at that. All right.
That's a real power play there, Dave.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. I'm not going to put you in the retire column, but still working on getting Froggy back. Andrew and Brandon, and then I'll do one more. I'll do Tanner. Andrew, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Daily listener.
Yep.
Can I point out real quick before I give my answer that you also asked your daughter how old she is this morning?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of gave that, like, I gave him a pass on that end.
Why? Yeah, me too.
I heard that, and I was like, well, you don't know how old your kid is?
Yeah.
But I gave him a pass on that.
Anything. Not even Chloe.
Yeah, I'm Father of the Year today. I asked my daughter if she was 23, and then I didn't recognize my own son's voice.
After he said it was Julian.
Yeah. Holy crap.
What? Talk about hurricane fatigue.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I'll give you my answer. I'll give you my answer now.
Yes.
Not only do I think you should not cancel Milton, I think you should go one step beyond. I think you should do a whole new series of Hurricane Milton Fletchcow calls.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of this cancel culture. Oh, we can't be the Redskins. We can't be the Chiefs. We can't be the Indians. Can't do that anymore because this little tiny group of people somewhere in some hole is offended.
Ow.
It's ridiculous. And hey, I got one quick report for you that you haven't covered yet.
Yep.
MJ, if I could.
Yep.
10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
This is important. The FWC, the Fish and Wildlife Commission,
Mm-hmm.
issued a report, and they can now confirm that no turtles were injured or killed as a result of Hurricane Milton.
Well, that's a good thing.
Because?
I like turtles.
There we go.
And again, he said his name was Andrew, and there was his voice.
But he was right. I mean, earlier today, you didn't know your daughter's age, and then you didn't recognize your son's voice.
All right, one more. Tanner. Tanner, what are your thoughts on retiring Milton Fletchcow?
Hey, good morning. Sorry if I sound tired. I'm on my 5th day over here working. I'm in from Port St. Lucie, Florida, working my butt off. But anyway, I would retire it. I did one thing pettier than you. I went ahead and went on my Facebook page last week and befriended anybody named Milton.
How many Miltons do you know?
Yeah, Milton from
I had
Office
two on
Space.
there. I had two on there. One was my former football coach, so he's gone for now. My house got wrecked in Port St. Lucie. I'm over here working. I got to go home and fix my own home, but I was called to duty, so that's why I'm here.
All right, thank you, buddy. All right.
Do you
All right,
know
so
anybody?
here's the deal. 11 calls say do not retire Milton, and 2 calls said retire Milton. So if I utilize those phone calls and it's a binding decision, Milton Fletchcow stays.
Do you know anyone with the name Milton?
I told you, Milton Kumsky.
No, that was a person like when you were a child.
Yeah, Milton Kumsky was friends of my grandparents on 169th Street in Flushing in Queens.
In your current circles and travels, do you know anybody
I
named
do not.
Yeah.
I know nobody named Milton. I know no modern-day Miltons.
It's a good thing Milton's name isn't Flood Cow.
What?
Oh, my.
Flood Cow.
Oh, Milton Flood Cow. Oof. Yeah. All right, 8:50 at the MJ Morning Show. Tell you what.
That's so funny.
This brings to a close over 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. We do it every morning around 7:25, and you always get even more than an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. When we get back, the 9 o'clock hour, and I'm just looking at we have a lot of stuff. I don't even have time to tease everything that's coming up here. Hollywood stuff coming up. Do you want to do... You know what? Let's do the P. Diddy pile tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking? We should, once we know, like, the young kids have gotten to school tomorrow.
But also, why don't you just go through and just make sure that you have everything that we missed during all the hurricane coverage? Because, like, more lawsuits are flying. You've got, like, an underage kid now accusing P. Diddy. I mean, he's toast.
I told you, just a little showcase. We'll showcase it tomorrow.
All right.
I read Kim Porter's alleged diary, and whoa.
I do have Hollywood stuff. There's some new Justin Timberlake news out. Oh, Al Pacino! Got some news coming up on Al Pacino! Oh, my God! You're not going to believe it! So, a lot of stuff next. MJ Morning Show here on Q105. As we get back to normal, folks, the cake. It is 9 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, it felt good this morning. I think it was like in the mid-70s when I left the house. It felt phenomenal. You know, not the thick, heavy humidity. Felt great. And then I guess later tonight and tomorrow morning, it's going to be even cooler.
I love it.
Did I see we could be like in the upper 50s or low 60s in some parts of the Tampa Bay area for tomorrow morning with this cold front?
According to my weather app on my phone, tomorrow's lows 52.
Oh, wow.
52, high 76.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
That's fantastic. So also when you have these cold fronts, this also has the ability to, keep hurricanes away. But still, you do have that system out in the Atlantic, and, the models show that thing, going below Cuba and into Central America. So listen, hopefully we are done. I'm hoping we are done for the season, but still, we have the rest of October, and then we have the rest of November. And, Dennis Phillips had said that he wouldn't be surprised if we did have some activity going into November. Was it last year or the year before we had like an early November storm somewhere? I can't remember where it was. It wasn't here, but it was, later than usual because hurricane season has always gone through November 30th, but for the most part, it's done by late October.
Yeah, I remember. Was it the year that we had those three storms, Charlie And then the other two, wasn't that one like a early November story?
I can't. I'm talking about just in the last year or two that we had November as well.
I remember a couple of years back we ran out of names. We had to go like to Alpha and Beta and.
Hey, that's right. Yeah. We had to go back around like to the Greek alphabet. All right, so here's the deal. Listen to this. Don, the IT guy, sent me a Wall Street Journal piece, right?
Ooh.
And he sends me the link, and of course, it's like, hey, you got to be a subscriber. And well, guess what? We subscribe. So I was able to put in, our username and password and get the story. But listen to this. This is interesting. Bankruptcy took down the Redbox machine. If only someone could take them away. Apparently, there are tons of Redbox machines that are just abandoned.
Nobody's ever going to pick them up.
Yeah. So, the ones outside of 7-Elevens and Walmarts and Walgreens and CVS, I think that you might be able just to go there unbolted and take it. I don't, hold on.
Great. We're going to have just like yesterday, the story that we did about the guy that saw the generator on the side of the road. It didn't have a name on it.
All right, folks, don't steal a Redbox machine and say to the police, hey, MJ said I could take it. But, I mean, listen to this. Listen to the Wall Street Journal. The DVD vending machine pioneer is out of business, sticking Walgreens, Walmart, and other merchants with 24,000 abandoned Big Red machines.
I mean, some of them are really beaten up because they sit outside, but other ones are like in that vestibule area of the Walmarts and Targets.
But they're also all going to have DVDs inside as well, I think, right?
What if you rent it and never return it?
Wow. Well, I don't think they're operating anymore. They're not hooked up. There's a red-hot market for guys like Matthew Taylor, the owner of an Alabama moving company, is hired to extract the DVD dispensing machines that are taking up space and sapping the resources and patience of store owners across the country. The machines owned by now defunct Redbox weigh as much as 890 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Can be environmental hazards and sometimes require an electrician to disconnect. And that might be the easy part. The next steps are figuring out what to do with the Big Red machines, and all the DVDs that are in the era of streaming have been rendered largely obsolete. Redbox's parent filed for bankruptcy this summer, saying it lacked the cash to buy the rights to many new releases, and the kiosk operator subsequently went out of business. It left 24,000 movie vending machines still in the field. Some of the nation's biggest retailers were stuck holding the logistical bag. Pharmacy chains, CVS and Walgreens, discounters, Walmart, Dollar General, and grocers, Albertsons and Kroger are among those getting bankruptcy court approval to dispose of abandoned Redbox kiosks, which on average hold more than 600 films. Oh, my God. I mean, you ought to just volunteer places. Hey, can I take your Redbox?
Yeah, I kind of want one for my home.
Yeah.
Do photo shoots there.
But then you need a key to get in, so you'd probably have to get a locksmith to drill out the lock.
Drill it out.
Or I don't know if you can go online and buy a Redbox key. But get the whole machine, and you've got 600 movies inside? Holy crap. That's amazing. 600 freaking movies inside. They're not just taking up store space. Retailers say the machines interfere with remodeling plans and expose them to potential safety hazards and liabilities. Some kiosks are hardwired into stores. Hang on a minute, I lost my spot. It's just some ad popped up.
Some kiosks, they're hardwired, like you said. Other ones also have a chemical in them, a special coolant to keep the mechanical parts from overheating.
So that's the environmental problem potentially.
You can't just dump these anywhere.
All right, here we go. Some kiosks are hardwired into stores' electrical systems. Outdoor machines are bolted into the concrete foundations and contain a coolant that is supposed to be disposed of in an environmentally safe manner. That's exactly what you just said. Wow, like antifreeze or something?
Something like that. I mean, there's a lot of mechanical gears happening, and you put it outside, subject to the summer heat. You want it to keep cool.
Walgreens told the court that it has spent $184,000 a month at roughly 3,800 stores to power nearly 5,400 machines belonging to the failed business. One supermarket operator said it's worried about people trying to break into the kiosks to steal films. Most of the machines likely will be stripped down and sold for scrap metal, according to vending machine consultant Ben Wheeler, a 2017 Kiosk Hall of Fame inductee who worked in marketing and supply chain for the company that made Redbox dispensers.
Oh, what a great job that would be, a vending machine consultant.
They're in the field, have to get pulled out, brought back to someone and retrofitted or stored, and who is going to pay for that process or storage? But a small percentage could be salvaged and find homes, either with collectors looking to preserve a piece of video history or with enterprising sorts with other ideas about how to put the machines to use. One possibility, Wheeler said, could be used to dispense goods like cannabis, a growing industry, which has made use of vending machines. North Carolina, anyway. So that's the... he estimates that the machine he bought held 500 DVDs. So some guy bought a machine. Wow. Jacob Helton, 19, said he got a machine by pure luck. A contractor's truck and trailer pulled up to a local drugstore to haul it away, struck up a conversation, and I guess he's going to keep it in his house now.
They gave it to him.
I mean, you got 24,000 of these things. You got hundreds and hundreds of movies in each one.
Man, it seemed like such a good idea when it first came out. The end
listen,
game wasn't thought of.
It was a good idea for
years,
for decades, for
Yeah.
for 20 years probably. And listen, just like other technologies that go, the wayside, like the VHS tape or, listen, in my home theater setup, there's still nothing like an ultra high definition 4K DVD on a high end. I've got a high end DVD player, and there's just nothing like the quality on a home theater screen. Coming off of DVD versus streaming, and then the audio. When you put an ultra HD, 4K, I mean the audio is just distinctly better than streaming. The music, the sound effects, the depth. So technology is not always better, or advances in technology, or a lot of times it's convenience. So I just thought that was fascinating. Thanks to Dom the IT guy, DomTheITGuy.com, for finding that story for me. I thought it was great. I got this. What time is it? 9:00.
Someone's doing show prep around here.
Thanks,
Don.
Yeah, 9:10 at the MJ Morning Show. I got some Hollywood stuff, some celebrity stuff I want to get to. Saw a story, page 6 last night. How Al Pacino went broke.
He did?
Yeah.
How could he go broke?
In the mid-'80s, Al Pacino was dating Diane Keaton, right?
Good for him.
Yeah, and then when he finished, a lot of big movies, apparently he had a little dry spell, wasn't making as much. Anyway, so turns out that he actually went broke. I guess he's got a book out, and he's, telling a story. And at one point, he had 16 cars, 23 cell phones, and $400,000 in landscaping for a house that he didn't use.
Okay, that's a lot, Al.
23 cell phones.
That sounds like
like a rapper.
Yeah, like MC Hammer. It's like MC Hammer that had like a giant MC in the bottom of his swimming pool made out of 18 karat gold.
A lot of stress and excess.
Yeah. So he found himself broke. I'm out of money. I got 23 cell phones. What am I going to do? Got to make some calls.
So what did he do?
Well,
he's not broke anymore, is he?
No. I think Al Pacino's doing okay. Yeah. He said that he listed some of his expenses, paying for 16 cars, 23 cell phones, and a landscaper who's getting ready. A landscaper who's getting $400,000 a year, and that was for landscaping a house that he didn't even live in. What? You have a landscaper making $400,000 a year? Oh my God! That's insane!
Pretty big house.
My God. Anyway, he had little knowledge where all his money was going. He was spending like $500,000 a month. Anyway, I guess he stabilized his situation. Hey, did you see, and this kind of got lost in the whole hurricane deal, did you see what a flunky failure that Joker 2 was?
I saw that. How much money are they losing? Like $200 million or something?
Yeah, I mean, that's the projected loss with marketing budget and movie costs and everything, that it is expected that the Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, which has been dubbed an absolute stinker and really garnered no interest. It's a complete and total flop.
Okay, dumb question, but this is the second Joker movie. Is that right?
It's called Joker 2.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that would be the second Joker movie.
It's the second. No, we're going to make the first Joker, Joker 2. That's what we're going to do.
It would have been better off calling it Joker, like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So these big...
No, we'll call it Joker 3. The first one ever. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 33% critic score. Andrew, what's the audience score?
32.
Oh, wow. The audience score is less than the critics. Audience score is 32. Audience hated the Joker 2, and the critics have a 33. So audience is 1 point lower than the critic score. What were you going to say, Fester?
Can't these big budget movie executives, don't they know that they have a turd on their hands? Can't they tell while they're making it, okay, this sucks. This is going to be awful.
So what was wrong with the movie?
I haven't seen it.
What do the reviews say?
You know, again, I have a chunk of our life. The last 2 weeks has been a blur.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that we just didn't pay attention to over the last couple of weeks because of Helene and then Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it like in middays. Hey, are you going to see the Joker new in theaters this weekend?
Listen,
Roxanne on Q105, and then I just lost 2 weeks of my life.
I mentioned earlier that hurricane trauma is real, hurricane anxiety, and almost like a 2-week loss of our normal lives.
Interrupted.
I'm just curious. Did anyone see the Joker 2, and was it that bad? What was wrong with it? You know, quickly, fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Did you see Joker 2 with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga? Why was it so bad? Or maybe you disagree. Maybe you thought it was good. Did you see it? Why was it bad? And give us a critique. I'd like to hear what you thought about this thing. But it's a total bomb. And it's on track to lose like a couple of $100 million. That's going to put a kibosh on Lady Gaga's movie career, huh?
Yeah, that's not a good thing to have under her belt.
Then I think on HBO, there's The Penguin. A lot of these,
that's good.
Is it? Because there's all these Batman spinoffs.
No, Michelle and I started watching The Penguin. The Penguin is really pretty good. I think we're like 3 episodes into The Penguin. I recommend that. That's on HBO and Max.
I'm reading a review for Joker 2 right now. Apparently it's boring. So that's never good.
No, that's not good.
No.
Because, the first Joker, that was pretty good. Remember the Joker? Remember the talk show scene in the studio and everything? Yeah, the first Joker was just brilliantly dark and engaging. And this new one apparently is just a suck fest.
It says it has so little energy. It sags off the screen. It's droopy, sad, and it's depressing.
Now, let me go to phones.
Sounds fun.
I get it.
Professor, bring up my screener.
There we go.
Let me grab James in Wesley Chapel. James, what was the deal with Joker 2?
Well, this is, and I'm a movie buff, and I always check those Rotten Tomato ratings, and I didn't this time. So the fact that you're saying in the 30s, I'm shocked. I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal, well done. Just the twist of it. I think what the only thing I kept thinking while I was watching is that it's a little bit like a musical. And you know, rightly so. You know, you've got, I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix can sing, but then I remember he did Towing the Line. He did Johnny Cash.
Hey, James, don't take this the wrong way, but James, is there any chance that you got hit in the head with hurricane debris?
No, man, that was before the hurricane, you dummy.
James, does it not take much to entertain you? Would you like to come watch them paint dry? No, I'm just teasing.
I'm telling you, I think I loved it because I mean, I love musicals too.
Right.
It's not like really a musical. I don't want to give anything away, but I think that's what's going to turn people off. Definitely different from the first one where it was just straight. This had a kind of a musical thing, and I thought it was brilliant the way they weaved it in and out. But it was a straight story. I mean, it's not like it was boring at all.
So was it like a dark Greatest Showman?
Yeah, almost, but
show
it wasn't
tunes.
like constant singing.
Dark show tunes.
I just really don't want to give it away. But
76 trombones. Anyway, hey, James, thanks for phoning in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing your contrarian opinion.
You're in the minority because 33% of critics hated it. And I'm sorry, 32 critics or no. 33 critics, 33% of critics liked it, and 32% of audience liked it. So, all right, let me grab James in Spring Hill. Yeah, last call on this guy. I got to move on. James, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi. So the previous caller said that he loved it. Rob, what do you say?
Hey, this guy before you was a loon. It was terrible. Me and my wife got up and walked out. This guy said how tremendous it was. So boring, and it was a musical. Not maybe, not possibly. It was a musical. And it was a bad musical. It was crazy. I haven't walked out of a movie. We go once a week to the movies. I haven't walked out of a movie in 15 years. Me and my wife looked at it. Watch the trailer. They make it look like it's all action and horror and all that. Nothing like it. It was terrible. Terrible.
He called James, the previous caller, a loon.
Yeah, loon ain't the word. I mean, how he was trying to perceive that as some type of great movie, this, that, and that. He is a loon.
Rob, do you remember the last movie you walked out of prior to the Joker 2?
No, it was that long ago. It had to be at least 10 years ago. I don't remember it, but it was. I have never been duped into so much. I mean, I actually want my money back. I swear to God, I wanted to ask for my money back. It was that bad.
Holy crap.
MJ, you're a good show. I like you and listen to you a lot. So good luck with everything. And yes, do not see it. Don't even rent it. Don't even get it on Livestream. It's terrible.
All right. Rob, thank you.
Have a wonderful
Rob,
yeah,
so hold on, yeah. Rob, you said you go to the movies every week?
Yes, we go on Sundays, me and my wife.
Do you have one of those AMC passes?
No, but I've got 10 free movies built up. Whenever you get time to go to movies, you get points. I got 10 free movies built up, about 15 free popcorns, and
look at this.
It's something we do.
Good for you.
We and we have a theater in our own home, but we still like to get out. We got a beautiful theater in our house, and
what kind of do you have a projector or a flat screen? What do you have?
We've got both. We have an actual theater where the flat screen is up against the wall. It's a 65-inch. Actually, we just got a 75, but we haven't put it up yet. And then we have a screen that comes down electronically with a projector.
And what projector do you have? Because my projector from 2009 finally died.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know the name of it. I just had a company come in and install the stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Rob, thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate it.
No, not so fast.
Where do you got to go? You have a wonderful day, and the rest of your staff, too.
Thank you, Rob.
Hold on. What movie are you seeing? What's hanging up on MJ?
I got to move on.
I'm harvesting. We could have like a weekly Rob's movie
movie review.
Who do you know that goes to the theater every week besides a critic?
I have this awesome Runco projector that just still looked fantastic, and it died. And they're out of business, and I can't get parts, and so Sony just came out with a new line of awesome projectors. So I'm looking. I got to replace my. We've been a little preoccupied, so but I've got to replace my projector, and I'm looking at the Sony has some awesome projectors. All right, so 9 what?
Did you just set Rob up with the "What do you have?" question so you could talk tech? for like
No,
30
I
seconds.
wanted to know what projector he
but
used.
then you got a Runco, but Runco's out of business. And
They
now I
are.
have a Sony.
All right, 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show on Q105. When we get back, the final segment. I still have a couple of. Oh, I got the Justin Timberlake item we got to get to. Oh, a major meat recall. You got the boar's head thing, which that's still just what a story that turned out to be. But yeah, we bought some boar's head cheese, bought some boar's head oven gold turkey.
Anything besides the ham products.
Yeah, I'm just hoping the other factories are in better shape and cleaner than the factory they shut down and burned to the ground up in Virginia.
I mean, I think a little listeria is good for your system, right? It builds up a tolerance.
All right.
That's not true. It's not medical advice, people.
What the hell are you saying?
That was a joke. It was a joke.
9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Anyway, final chunk, final segment. MJ Morning Show is next. Their commercial campaigns earlier this year, and I just thought it was a great little song. And I was like, "What is that?" I Shazammed it. I'm like, "What is that?" And it's a band. What was the name of the band? I forgot the name of the band, but I love that song. You know, and I Shazammed it, and it turns out that this is it was like a minor hit, like in 2015. I'm like, yeah, that thing. I like that song. Remember Ed Van Helt used this as like a song in one of their commercials, Roxanne? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, the name of the song is Light Me Up?
Yeah, Light Me Up.
There's like 20 songs named Light Me Up.
Yeah, it's by...
most of them are about marijuana.
Yeah.
Hey, can I submit?
Yeah, it's Bronze Radio Return is the name of the band. Bronze Radio Return.
You just reminded me when you said you Shazam something. I love to do that when I'm in a restaurant and I'm like, oh, I love this music. Usually I'm having a drink, so I like it even more than I realized. So I Shazammed all this stuff.
You drink a lot.
No, I don't drink a lot. I'm a one glass of wine with a meal kind of person.
Okay.
And I just like to take the edge off. All right. Look at who I work with every
When you
day.
say take the edge off, that's like
that's
a warning
that's
sign.
a red flag.
That is a red flag warning sign. Oh,
It's a
yeah.
problem.
I need a drink. Take the edge off.
Do I?
That's a warning sign.
But I have these. May I submit some rejoiner music?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Like
Right
right
now?
now?
No,
or in general?
not
Oh,
now. I'm going to send
okay.
it. I'm going to find it and
All
send
right.
it.
I thought you had like 10 of them ready to go.
Yeah, let me hear. Send me your list of songs you'd like me to add for rejoiner
the
music.
Roxanne rejoin playlist. That'd be great.
All right. So I heard from Jimmy Petronas yesterday. Jimmy texted me. Jimmy, of course, is the chief financial officer for the state of Florida. He's also the fire marshal. And you've seen Jimmy all over TV. He's been doing national interviews, local interviews. He helped set up the Insurance Village. And Jimmy was at one of the insurance villages and said that multiple people came up to him and said, hey, I heard about the insurance villages on the MJ Morning Show. And that continues. So Insurance Village continues in Bradenton. You've got Village, 9 to 5 at the Bradenton City Hall Auditorium Building. Clearwater, you have the Long Center on North Belcher, 9 to 5. Lakeland, Insurance Village is open there, 9 to 5. You got Plant City. Insurance Village is going to, let's see, opening day today in Plant City. So Wednesday, October 16th, today, Plant City, Florida Strawberry Festival on Berryfest Place. Their Insurance Village in Plant City opened this morning at 9 a.m. and goes opens at 10.
At 10.
So today it opens at 10, and then subsequent days it's going to be 9 a.m. So these are insurance villages which the state has coordinated, where a lot of the major insurance companies are on site to help claimants, to help people with their policies, and to get the ball rolling, and to really be able to walk up and talk to somebody and get some help. So thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate you letting me know about listeners that you met. I think it was in Clearwater. Yeah, the Clearwater location, Long Center, yesterday, and people came up to him, said, hey, yeah, listen to the MJ Morning Show and heard you on there, and thanks a lot for the information. So that's fantastic.
So you know who else was in town yesterday?
DeSantis.
He was.
Yeah.
Do you know where he went to lunch?
Where did DeSantis go to lunch? I don't know.
You don't know because this wasn't a publicized media event. He just organically had a lunch at Kojak's Barbecue in Seffner.
Really?
Isn't that cool?
They called him a couple of hours in advance and set it up, and the governor had no media there, no TV cameras, no TV trucks, nothing like that.
That's fantastic.
My cousin happened to be eating lunch there, and he was taking a picture. He's like, look who's in the restaurant.
Wait a minute.
He was like,
Your cousin happened to be at Kojak's yesterday when
Yes.
DeSantis showed up?
Yes.
Really?
He sent me some photos, and then yep, they're on Kojak's page as well.
Yeah, the governor had his own photographer there, but no media, no press conference. I think later in the day he had a presser with Sheriff Chronister. But, the governor had some ribs.
Yeah.
And
Kojak's House of Ribs, now in Seffner. They used to be in South Tampa off Gandy, right near Bayshore. They were there for decades, and they sold the property. They moved out to Seffner, and Kojak's House of Ribs is a friend of the MJ Morning Show.
Oh, yeah.
Is a big they're
Q105
big,
in general.
big fans, friend of the MJ Morning Show of the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, good publicity, good news for Kojak's.
We do our undercover office with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
one of our food partners.
Yes,
that's great.
Yeah,
So-
the food is so good. So they had all kinds of detail there, like troopers, special agents, zooming around, and like super serious. But it was just they were
So
everywhere.
the rumor is the governor had 3 servings of beans. So today,
Will you stop?
That's not true.
We stop.
yeah,
not true.
he loaded up. He
Yeah.
thought they were delicious.
Hey, speaking of food, a giant supplier to Costco, Target, and other locations recalling 10 million pounds of meat. I mean, I can't even fathom 10 million pounds of meat.
Why?
What? Because of contamonisation.
Is there nothing they could do with this meat? Does it have to go to a landfill? You can't feed goats with it or something?
Listeria monocytogenes. Man, those damn Listeria monocytogenes, man, they're a pain in the ass. I mean, literally. Seriously, listen to this. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, millions of Americans may be impacted by a 10 million pound meat recall affecting hundreds of products across major retailers. Bruce Pack, a company based in Oklahoma, where the wind comes streaming down the plain.
Talking about musicals.
Yeah. Is that the lyric?
Oklahoma,
where the wind comes streaming. Is that
where the wind comes low?
Is it streaming?
I got to look it up now.
Were they into streaming before streaming was a thing?
Who knew that it was such a before its time?
Give me the Oklahoma lyrics. Just type.
Right.
No, just go to lyrics.
Oklahoma.
Don't bring up YouTube. Just
I want
bring
to hear it.
Just bring up Oklahoma lyrics.
Oklahoma
Lyrics song.
Lyrics.
Yeah, thank you.
Oklahoma lyrics.
All right, here we
Oklahoma
go.
song.
Yeah, from Rogers and Hammerstein. Let's see here.
Video.
Where are the damn lyrics? Give me the lyrics.
Here you go.
Oh, here we go. Sweeping down the plain. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain.
Are you sure you don't want to hear a professional sing it?
I feel like Andy Kaufman on the third season of Saturday Night Live in 1977. Yeah. This is just... What is that?
This is a choir.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell
This
that
is
is.
the-
it leads. Oh, it leads into it.
I don't
what is that?
know.
The Mormon Tabernacle Choir?
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, so a giant recall
on meat.
9,986,245 pounds of meat. How do they have the exact number down to the pound?
Well, we already had it packaged up. We know how much it is.
Ready to eat meat and poultry. Fears about listeria. Consumers who don't recognize the company may think they're in the clear, but the chicken was distributed in hundreds of different products.
Yeah, that's what happens. You don't know these companies that provide the food to the end user or end manufacturer.
Certain lots of frozen Trader Joe's chicken chow mein are also included. Just all kinds of products and restaurants and retailers and all. Wow. That's a mess. That'll mess up your financials if you got to recall 10 million pounds of meat.
No kidding.
What do? They throw it in the ocean? I mean, what can
Yeah,
you do?
what do you do with 10 million pounds of meat?
I mean, can chickens eat it? I mean, they eat almost anything. I don't know.
You send it to like Maasai villages, like they send the loser Super Bowl T-shirts.
No, don't send
No,
those.
I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
don't do that.
I'm joking.
I mean, they probably cook it really well.
I'm kidding. All right. Oh, man. Clint Eastwood's daughter arrested for felony domestic violence. Apparently said to her domestic partner, "Do you feel lucky, punk?"
No.
"Did I fire 5 shots or 6? Do you feel lucky, punk?" Now, seriously, Clint Eastwood's daughter, Francesca, is out on bail and ready to wail after getting busted for felony violence, domestic violence, for getting physical with her boyfriend. Law enforcement officials told TMZ that Francesca was driving around Beverly Hills with her boyfriend on Saturday night when they got into a verbal argument which escalated when Francesca allegedly got physical.
Yeah, the whole thing started at their house when he wouldn't get off the lawn. And then...
"Get off my lawn."
He's like, "No, Francesca, I'm not getting off the lawn."
Yeah.
And then she clocked him and kicked him in the nuts.
Yeah, one source says that Francesca's boyfriend called the cops and police advised him to drive to the safety zone at the Beverly Hills Police Department to meet with officers. Dude, that would be right where Axel Foley drove from Detroit, right in front of the Beverly Hills Police Department.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and then the new Beverly Hills Cop 4, which was great, which was a surprise hit and was really good. Yeah, he's ain't gonna fall for low banana tailpipe trick, you know?
So is the police safety zone like where they want people to go for like eBay transactions?
Probably so.
Or Craigslist transactions?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
So she showed up. Cops then spoke with both parties and saw visible injuries on her boyfriend, and she was arrested and booked for felony domestic violence. Sources say that Francesca's boyfriend refused medical aid. Online records show that Francesca posted a $50,000 bond released from custody. Yeah, she was featured in a reality show with her family back in 2012. She's also starred in a movie like movies like MFA and Clawfoot.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with MFA and Clawfoot.
She hasn't quite put together the career her father has.
No.
No, but she's put together quite a body. Fester has her
Yeah,
image up.
she's looking for all kinds of attention on Instagram.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
she's in good
She
shape.
looks like she can. She looks like she could use a sandwich.
If somebody loves her, they'll buy her a burrito. Or
She
something.
looks emaciated.
Yeah, thin legs, but I mean, she's in good shape.
How old is she? Because Clint Eastwood is like 112. How old is Clint Eastwood's daughter? Francesca, what is she in? Is she in her 40s, 50s? How old is she?
Let me look her up.
The daughter in that photo, you think she's in her 50s?
She's probably 44.
Well, the dad is 100.
Yeah, how old is it, Francesca?
I think she's younger than that.
she's 31.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say.
Clint had her in the.
Clint had her when he was 82. Boys were still swimming.
Yeah.
In his 60s, he was the father again. Good for him.
Get off my lawn. Wow. So she's 31 and Clint Eastwood had really? Wow. That's incredible.
Well.
But I didn't know, Beverly Hills Police said, hey, drive into the safe zone, and then she gets arrested. A lot of times, oh, by the way, when they pulled into the safe zone, they both got out of the car and they got on the grass, and then the chief came out and said, get off my lawn. Yeah.
I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You didn't say make my day.
Go ahead. Make my Beverly Hills with Clint Eastwood's 31-year-old emaciated daughter.
Wow, he's got quite a few children.
How many kids does Clint Eastwood have?
1, 2, 3,
I think he has
4,
seven.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, seven.
7.
Yeah, Clint, he gets it, man. He gets after it.
All good-looking kids.
P. Diddy was very surprised when he heard that Clint Eastwood's daughter beat up the boyfriend. P. Diddy said,
I'm shocked at this information.
Yeah.
He's shocked at a lot of things.
And he said, man, she's in trouble. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm not in her shoes.
Boy, she's got a legal battle ahead of her.
Do you remember the Clint Eastwood song, Go Ahead, Make My Day? Did we ever play? There was hold on. Andrew, you are like a music savant. You don't remember Go Ahead, Make My Day? All right, Festa, go to YouTube. Yeah, when I was in, I think, like 10th grade, there was a song out.
Like a parody song?
Yeah. Type in Clint Eastwood, Go Ahead, Make My Day song. And there was a song where they used sound bites from, Dirty Harry. And it was, Go Ahead, Make My Day. Go to the record. Just play. T.G. Shepherd and Clint Eastwood from 1984. So I was a senior, actually, in high school. This is a big hit.
Well, it was going down on the bad part of town at an all-night grocery store. The old man there, his hands in the air, his customers on the floor.
You never heard this?
The hoods took all the
I was just...
money and all of his hard-earned pay, but then a tall man stepped in with a cynical grin. He said, go ahead, make my day.
Ooh, never heard this.
You never heard this song?
The girl's walking all alone, and now it's getting dark. She knows she'd better hurry home, so she cuts right through the
Really? You never heard this?
No.
Fester.
First time.
I think I heard it years and years and years ago. Right.
From behind a tree trunk, a voice said, punk, go ahead, make my day.
I want to hear him say, go ahead and make my day. Oh, yeah. That's we're turning into like 99.5 QIK over here.
I wish they played this song.
Hey, I'm JR. Listen, MJ, JR, 2 initials, right?
That's right.
Yeah, look at that. All right, anyway. Justin Timberlake apparently really pissed his wife off, Jessica Biel, with the DUI.
Really? He's in trouble with his wifey?
That still continues, that Jessica Biel was really ticked off at Justin Timberlake for getting arrested for DUI.
What, just for bringing the negative attention?
The only thing worse would have been if he had some like chick in the car.
Mm.
That would have been like the only thing worse if there was like a woman in the car when he got busted.
Not good.
For DUI. Anyway, the word is that she is still all peeved off at him getting the DUI. I think that's about it. I still have a lot more. We got the Diddy pile tomorrow, right?
Yep. Diddy pile tomorrow. 2 quick things for you. One thing is we didn't talk about the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Not a big deal, except for the fact that Kate Moss was in it. I just wanted to mention that to you because
Did
isn't
that
that
air?
someone you like? Yesterday.
Oh, it was on last night?
Yes, it was on last night.
Listen, I'm still getting back to normal. I'm still trying to get back into the regular prep mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had so much. I mean, the last 2 weeks are like just a blur.
Yeah.
It's, it's almost like alien abduction. It's the hurricane edition of alien abduction.
It's like we've had partial lobotomies.
Listen, I think it's another way to put it. Seriously, I mean, just a blur. It's like a chunk of our life. 2 weeks they've disappeared. Incidentally, just a couple of recognitions. Denny's is bringing the mobile diner to the Tampa area. The Denny's mobile diner serving hot meals at Lowe's on West Waters Avenue from 8 a.m. this morning to 1:30 p.m. today through Sunday. So that's a nice thing for Denny's to do. Thank you. McDonald's McRig truck will serve up free meals in St. Petersburg this week.
The McRig?
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Starting, I guess it was starting Monday. Yeah, McDonald's McRig, Monday, Tuesday, and then through today, the McRib will serve hot meals and water in the parking lot of the St. Pete location at 9600 4th Street North. Is that here? Is that the McDonald's right down here?
That might be.
9600. 4th Street North. It might be right down the street here. So thanks to McDonald's. Just a lot of folks have stepped up. You know, you have Operation Barbecue Relief. Awesome organization. They stepped up after Helene. Now they're stepping up again. So that's fantastic. Buccaneers are joining Feeding Tampa Bay. Just a lot of folks stepping up to help out. And with that, we'll call it a day here on the MJ Morning Show on a Wednesday. It felt good. I think we kind of got back to somewhat normal today with, more of a normal MJ Morning Show, which I think people need. I think we did a decent job during the hurricane itself, informing and bringing people information, and then, slowly trying to, climb back. But the one thing that really scares the you-know-what out of me is that it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it really could have.
Than what it was. And so many people were, devastatingly affected, but it still could have been worse. All right, folks, hit me up on my Instagram. My direct messages are always open. I'm Certified MJ Radio. If you don't follow me, give me a follow right now. Certified MJ Radio. And take a look at all the videos I've shot recently, especially the hurricane aftermath videos. You know what?
What?
I shot a really cute video of Scout, our female Jack Russell, last night. And as you know, it's going to be cute dog videos are going to totally save radio broadcasting.
As long as you post about them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's cute dog videos. That's really going to put us over the top and save the business. All right, folks, I'll see you back here tomorrow with Roxanne and Fester and Andrew. Have a great day. Give me a follow, Certified MJ Radio. Give MJ Morning Show a follow. Roxanne Wilder on Instagram. Give her a follow. Fester doesn't give a flying crap.
Nope.
And, of course, my email is wide open at mj@mjmorningshow.com. And do me a favor. Let's be careful out there.
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests, powered by Anna.